All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see now. Let's get this a bit brighter. Why is this a little bit dark? Okay. That's better. How's everybody doing, guys? How is everybody doing? What are we seeing here? Joining. All right. How's everybody doing on all the platforms? All the platforms. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see if this holds. I've been having glitches. Oh, what? All right, that should be fine. I've been having glitches with, listen, my whole system is all off. This is a hangout anyway, guys. We're chilling today. I'm preparing for a big event on Sunday, the Q2 event of the 300. So we're going to, you know, chop it up on what is going. Whoa, why did I suddenly lose? Did I just lose everybody? What the hell? What the hell just happened? Wow. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, we're just going to have a nice little chat. Let me see what we got here. Okay. We got this. My Substack folks. Get the Substack crew in here. All right. All right. There we go. Snow Nose, Adam W. All right. Yes, everything is okay. Yes, yes, sir. Okay, yeah, we're back. I something really weird happened. I lost everybody on YouTube for a second, and then everybody suddenly swarmed back in. I always know that I'm gonna have problems on Instagram, so I'm not even really thinking too much about Instagram because Instagram keeps flopping on me. Let me get my monitor here, my monitor headset that I haven't used in 1,000 years. Let's get this monitor in the house. Ah, la la la. Yeah, guys, what a few weeks we've had. The video that I posted on Instagram hasn't really done well. In fact, the videos I've posted on Instagram for the last couple, I mean, one of them did okay, so I'm not even going to say it didn't do that bad. It didn't do that badly. It didn't do that badly. The one I posted recently. It didn't do that badly. Ooh, yes, sir. We're in business. Now we're talking. Now we're having a party. Uh-oh. The hell just happened to my headset? I was in there for a second. What's going on, guys? What is going? Like I said, everybody announce yourselves as you come in. Nicole the Alchemist, how are you? Nicole the Alchemist, how are you? There we go. There we go. Nicole the Alchemist, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Yeah, guys. I mean, my goodness, what a week it has been. What a week it has been. Substack, how are you? Listen, the problem that I have, and it's very simple. When I use the RMTP, which is necessary for me to be able to broadcast to multiple locations at the same time, that is when I have all these weird issues. So things freeze. I just have to hope that everybody can hear me, because I can't see the monitor going on my end. So I just we just hope that everything is okay. We just hope that everything is okay. All right. Let's see now. So we've got this. Let me see if I can actually get my Substack people back in business. Yes, sir. How is everybody doing, though? Like I said, always introduce yourselves when you come in the room. Substack, I'll be with you in a second. Always introduce yourselves as you come into the room. All right. All right, so this is working now. All right, so Substack is working. People are saying that I should do a X space. Should I do an X space? That's what I'm being asked to do. Maybe I will at some point. I don't really like X. I don't really mess with X too much. You know, that's not really my thing. I avoided that platform like the plague. I avoid it like the plague. What's up, Instagram? Look, I'm telling you that Sunday is the day. Sunday is the day. How many of you guys are joining us on Sunday? How many of you guys are joining us on Sunday? Nicole the Alchemist. Okay, just got back to the UK from 3 months in Kenya. Okay, nice. Nice. That's good to hear. Media One Africa. Yes, we can hear you. Okay. Auntie Sherry, what? Okay, what happened if you decide just to know that everyone hears you? Well, you know, I would love that to be the case, but that is usually not the case. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that very regularly I'll be talking for like 10, 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden guys will be like, you know, we didn't hear anything you said for the last 15 minutes. That's happened quite a few times. I'll be talking for a good 10, 15 minutes, and guys will tell me they didn't hear a damn thing. Yeah, YouTube for these sorts of broadcasts are easier. The ones that are on Substack that are good is when I use my phone only on Substack. So when I do it that way, then it's much more straightforward. But the problem is then I can't really broadcast to everybody at the same time. Substack is really designed primarily as a writing thing for articles, long form articles, in-depth things like that. That's the primary function of it. Yeah, no, X is a Nazi playground. Well, Substack is also a Nazi playground as well, you know. X is also the Substack has become a Nazi playground as well. You know, believe that. Believe that. That is definitely the case. Anyway, so yes, guys, on Sunday, I'm going to be talking to the CEO of African Stream. You know, so that's going to be interesting. I just announced that, so that's going to be fun for the opening of the 300 Q2 presentation. You know, so that's going to be really, really good. X Spaces is for debates. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not debating anybody. I'm not here to debate anybody. All these guys who are debating, what are you debating for? Why do you care about what anybody else thinks? Why do you care about what anybody else thinks? What are you debating for? See guys debating guys that, listen, if guys want to go and find out the truth, they should go and find it. It's not our responsibility to educate other folks on what's going on. I'm not doing any debates. Debates? What's the point of a debate? Debates? What do I look like? I'm old. I'm finished. I don't have time for that. I haven't got time for debating. That's for the young bucks. Lady Diana, what's up? How are you? What's up? How are you doing? Yeah, it's a big show on Sunday. I'm actually nervous about it because, you see, those things, you know, it's not really about the bells and whistles. It's about the meat and drink of the conversation. If you've been to a TED Talk, or you've seen TED Talks, that's how we do things. If anybody who was at the Q1 was great. The Q1 was great. That's what it's like, you know. We keep it real. The Q1 was great. This one is going to be good too. This one is going to be good too. Q1 was great. This one is going to be good too. So many people who applied for, and guys, I'm not going to be here too long because it's late here. So, you know, I need to give myself some time to actually recover. But anybody who went to Q1, you know, one of the problems is with the people who've been making requests. Whenever you get the confirmation email, I think I've got like 150 people sitting there who didn't confirm their email. And I tell them, I'm like, you've got to confirm the email so that you get the invitation if you're selected. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. So, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I can't chase everybody. Like I looked just now, I have 150 applications sitting there or requests for an invitation on Sunday they didn't confirm their emails. Some of them opened the email and I'm like, you opened it. You saw that it said click the blue button and you didn't click it. Just have to click the button. What are you going to do, guys? You know, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. What are you going to do? You can only do so much. You can only do so much, guys. Yes, so that's going to be interesting. Funny enough, I'm sure you guys know about this. I'm not going to dwell on this because it's such a negative topic and I don't want to bring too much negativity into the conversation. But I'm sure you've heard that some FBA guys are organizing an anti-African business boycott to begin on the 1st of August through till 2026. I'm not going to dwell on it because it's obviously a very sad topic to even dwell on. But whoever did that, you know, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you've got an anti-African boycott? Yes, guys who said that they were FBA. That's what I saw on somebody sent me a video. And I was like, what? My private messages. Did you send me a private message? Did you send me a private message? Okay. I mean, I don't see any. I don't see anything here. I mean, I get a lot of messages, so it's difficult for me to check. So unless it's like something super urgent, you know, it's kind of difficult because I get swamped every day. But the founding member things and those ones go to the top of my mailing thing. But even then, I get a lot of those messages. So it's usually, you know, it's got to be something pertinent, you know, so that I can actually get to it. Otherwise, it's a challenge. But those ones actually go to the top. So those are the ones that I see. Because to be honest, if they're not there, like everybody who's like a regular subscriber and you send a message, the problem is that when I get 100 messages a day, it's difficult to see everything, you know. So it's always the founding members and the paid members that go to the top on the Substack DMs and YouTube, actually, when they make comments and so on. It allows me to actually see them. Yes. What was I saying? Guys? You know, I got knocked off track there. What was I saying? Foolishness. Taipolitic Nation. Wow, how are you? Congratulations, Taipolitic. I saw that you posted you got 100,000 on TikTok. Congratulations. Taipolitic, you should even come on my YouTube. Come on YouTube. Let me bring you up. I'll give you the link. Come over to YouTube. Let me bring you up. I'll give you the link. Taipolitic. Wait a minute. Am I hearing? Why am I getting feedback? Getting feedback on my getting feedback on my mic here. Yeah, Taipolitic. Get over to YouTube because Instagram live for some reason it's a hustle over there. It's a hustle. Instagram Live is a hustle. The best ones are Substack, and ooh, man, I've got a lot of Substack messages. All right, guys, give me a second to get through some of these. What, let me see. All right, I see your message. I will answer that when I get off. I will answer that when I get off. Snow Nose, you're saying, listen, this is the thing. I think our people need to understand something. I'm streaming to multiple places at the same time. So if you think that if you write a message, I'm going to be able to answer your specific message immediately or within 5-10 minutes, listen, I get to it when I can get to it because I'm looking at a bunch of things and trying to conduct a show. And the funny thing is, I just saw the question. The amount of information I've given to answer that question on every single video I've posted, the answer to that question that you're asking about the 300 invitation is literally in every single post, every single video, everything I've put out about Sunday has included the exact information of what you need to do to get access. And you still want me to answer it. I'm like, I don't know what to say, Man, I've given all the info. In fact, what's frustrating to me is that people who've put in requests aren't even confirming their email. Yes. So that is that's going to be good. Auntie Sherry, I'm not talking about, I'm talking, there was on a Substack. I'm talking about a Substack thing. I saw your question. Your question I haven't answered in the public videos. The question you asked now in the DM, I haven't answered that in the public videos. Because you're new, you wouldn't necessarily know that info because you haven't been here from when we were doing it before. I've talked about it, but I haven't actually specifically answered that question that you're asking in terms of, in fact, I can even answer it now. It's easy for everybody. Basically, look, the 300, I've given you all the information on how it operates, but you don't have to do any contributions till you're in the... So what's happening this time is that everybody's going to come on Sunday to the presentation, people who request. I've asked that people requesting should be people who actually want to be part of the 300. I don't want people to just come there just to watch. I just want to be a spectator. Everybody who comes is either already in it, so they were the ones who contributed for the project, or they're looking to become a part of it, so they're interested. That is really what I'm looking for everybody who comes in. Now, what happens typically, this is going to change for Q3 probably, or even this one. What happens is that you come in, we present the finished project, and then we present the 3 projects to be voted on for the second quarter, for the next one. And then you put in your contribution and then you vote. In order to vote, you have to make the contribution that you pledged. So your pledge, then you vote, then you make the contribution. And then when you do that, it triggers a ballot that you get. And then that's how it works. So that's the system. What's going to happen in the future, though, is that because we're now actually completing projects, I'm going to only allow people to join by making a contribution. So they'll make the contribution to join. That's the system I'm going to have, because what we had in Q1 was a lot of people who applied and then just disappeared, didn't answer any emails, didn't respond, didn't contribute, didn't do anything. We had hundreds of people who did that. I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't know what kicks they get out of it. I haven't got a clue. Because obviously we're dealing with something very serious here. So why you would want to just come and make a mockery of it, I don't know. I don't know what they got out of that, but they obviously got something out of it. And if you did that and you're watching this and you're one of those people who did that, shame. Because I don't see the point. Nobody forced you to apply. So why? I don't know why you did it. Because we're dealing with serious things here. But yes, that's the process. That is the process. All right, let's see. Virgil Leonard, how are you? Virgil Leonard, what's up? How are you? Virgil Leonard, are you the same? Because there are many Virgils, and there's one Virgil that I do know who's been on my show multiple times. I don't know whether you're the same person. I don't think you are. There's a Virgil that I know who's been on the show that I actually brought on the live a few times months ago, who is in the 300 actually, and I do not know if you're the same person or where that individual is these days. Man, oh man. Yes, sir. Anyway. So, yes, so that's going to be an interesting conversation on Sunday. Honestly, like, I'm very excited now because, you know, when you do something and you're not sure if it's going to work, you're not really sure. And before you've actually made big steps, you do have some nervousness. What's cool about this is that to have finished something and to be able to go forward is really exciting now, because I'm like, oh my goodness, we you know, we've made a project. So now this is not theoretical anymore. This is now progress. So when we now go into the second phase, this, you know, Q2, that's an exciting time, because anything that we say now, people aren't going to be looking at and say, you're just talking. I'm like, we made something and we were on schedule. We made something and we're on schedule. Funny enough, like I said, the FBA thing where they're boycotting African businesses, I thought it was a joke. Then I saw the videos and I was like, wow, there are actually people doing this. I don't believe that there's a lot of them though. You know, it's one of those things where, because the people who are doing this are so noisy, they make it seem as if more people are interested than are actually interested. I think hardly anybody is even paying attention to this thing. If you think about it, how many of you guys who are listening even knew that there was a Black American boycott on African goods and services in America that was planned? How many of you knew that? I would hazard a guess that not a lot of you knew that. I would hazard a guess that not a lot of you knew that. Virgil Leonard, okay, it's not you. Okay. Okay. It's very sad, though. I mean, I think it's sad that anybody would do it. So even if it's a minority, that anybody would go out and try and plan something like that is very unfortunate. That anybody would plan something like that is very unfortunate. Afroaribb, okay, you knew about it, okay. %90 of FBAs are white profiles. Listen, man, those guys are so... I feel sorry for them, because the mental illness you have to be impersonating people you say you hate, to be stalking the pages of people you say you hate, is deep. These guys are obsessed. It's obsessive. You're right that there are a lot of guys. I've seen so many of these accounts. You'll be on a page having a conversation in a thread, and you'll notice some comments and you think to yourself that there's something weird about this person, the way they're talking. They don't feel authentic. They don't feel like they're really black. Or there's something off. You're not sure what it is. Then you click into the profile and you see that this person has 0 posts, 0 everything. The picture looks like it's random. The name is the most stereotypical black name you can think of. And all their comments that they're making everywhere is suspect. And you know how you know? This is how you know. Comments that start with, I'm black, but. So when they're on a shooting video or any of these things, and they say, listen, as a black man, listen, as a black man. When you're black, who talks like that? when you're about to say some sideways stuff. Who talks like that? Yeah, and I'm black. And then you go to their page and they have no posts or anything and just a piss. And the picture is always of a black person. I'm like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. We weren't born yesterday. Come on. It's ridiculous. Those guys are everywhere, man. So you've got to be careful. But regardless, the videos that I saw talking about this boycott of African goods, those were videos. They weren't just text posts, they were videos. They were videos. Yeah, listen, you know, it's true. It's real. It's real. I didn't know about it. I had no idea. Somebody brought it to my attention. I had no idea it was even happening. And then I went to search it and I was like, oh, wow, there's a lot of videos, not just one or two. There's a lot of videos from people who are talking about it. But as I said, when I say a lot, it's like, all right, so I saw 20 videos or something. The point is, it is not a majority of people, which is why I don't think it's that big a deal. I think it's just a group of very disturbed folks. Boycott Africans? For what? Like what? You know, that sort of thing. That's just a power play, man. It's when guys feel like they don't have any power and they need to exercise some power. That's what it is. That's a power play. What's going on here? Let me see if I got any. Yeah, this video didn't do well at all. Wow. This is like my worst performing video in ages. This video that I just posted. 1,400 views in like 3 hours. What? 2 hours? That's terrible. Yeah, guys, I might have to get rid of that video. Yeah. Taipolitic Nation. Oh, he's here. Okay. Taipolitic is here. Let me bring Taipolitic in. Taipolitic, we're on the same time zone now, so we can have a proper conversation. Taipolitic, we're on the same time zone. But you have to be on a computer and on Chrome to use this, by the way. You have to be on computer and on Chrome for that link to work. Lifestyle with Abby, how are you? Black Americans rarely support black businesses, so there won't be much damage. If we're buying shea butter or black soap, it's rarely from an African shop. There you go. Like I said, this was a fringe group. I saw the woman. The woman looked mentally not quite there herself. One of the women who were really talking all that talk. So I just was like, I just think it's sad that anybody would be talking about it. Like I think that's sad, but I don't even think it's an issue. I don't think it's actually. Basically, I do not believe that Black Americans as a group are thinking about boycotting African shops. I think it's a little small group of disturbed individuals. Disturbed, if I may say so myself. Taipolitic, did you see the link? Did you see the link? Taipolitic Nation. Let's see now. These people are lonely in cells by Adam W. Yeah, well, you know. I'm white. I never open with as a white man. It's a weird phrase. That's how you know they're fake. Because they know that they have to say that because they're going to talk some left stuff. That's the reason. They know what they're going to say. So there's like, they have to preface it with that because they know that they're fake. But we're on to them. We're on to them. Wow, Auntie Sherry is top of the leaderboard. Wow, with 40, let me see, what are you with 75 XP? Afroaribb is number 2 with 70. What are you on? With 75 XP, and My Mystic Magi with 75 XP. Okay, there's a lot of people with 75. Yeah, this YouTube has launched this new top fans thing, so you can see it on the screen. You can see it on the screen. This new top fans thing. It's interesting. You know, I think, yeah. But listen, guys, and by the way, Taipolitic, you need to actually come to my event on Sunday as well. I think you need to actually I have to send the invites out tonight to some guys. I have to get some invites out to a few panelists. Ooh, what we got here? All right. Why is this thing looking a little bit? There we go. Headset was a little off. Yeah, I need to actually send some. Oh, what's going on here? Hold on. Switching. Okay. All right. Yeah, I have no idea what's up with my Instagram live. This stuff just. What city is my event in? This is it's on the web. It's on web. You were hoping you would get an invitation. Didn't you get? Yeah, but all you need to do is click the. Did you fill in the form? Not only that, you should have gotten an email where you just RSVP and you're going to get an invitation. If you applied for the 300, you would have gotten an email saying that RSVP for the event. Then you RSVP, and then that's all you need to do. If you didn't apply, you can then just fill in the form via the link, and then you will just that will go into the thing, and then it's taken by priority based on what you're. So basically, as a founding member, then you'd get priority in getting an invitation, and so on and so forth. So there's multiple ways. So you should have already had an email. You should have had an email like 2 weeks. I think I sent that email. That was like a week ago. Yeah. So then if you did that, then you're fine. The invitations haven't even gone out yet. They're going to go out tomorrow. They're not going to go out till tomorrow because I have to go through all the applications and decide who I'm going to send it to. Everybody knows what the date is and the time. So it's midday on the 27th, but the actual link is all that's left. So that hasn't even gone out yet. As I said, I've got 150 people sitting in the inbox who didn't even confirm that I have to deal with, including the people who have confirmed their email requests. Let's see now. Let us see. Quick question. Was the email sent to all paid subscribers? Yep. Yeah. Well, the email, yes. So everybody got that. The email. I sent multiple emails. I sent an email with the link, the button for you to apply. Now I have to vet those applications, and people who are paid members will get preferential. Will be preferred in terms of people that will get, because we're not inviting everybody. This is not like a mass event where everybody's going to go. This is it was actually just for the 300 people who contributed. That's what it was for. But then we had a meeting and we just said, you know what? It would be a good idea to invite a small number of people from the public who have an interest in joining to come and celebrate the win, to come and celebrate the project and potentially become a member as well, That's the reason why we're even because it's not even supposed to be open to everybody. This was a decision we just made because we're like, you know what? This is an opportunity to bring some new people in. Taipolitic, where are you? What's going on? I'm sure you've switched already. Damn. Did you have to install Chrome or something? See, can I watch your show if I originally came from Africa but grew up in Europe? I don't know what that question means. What are you planning on covering? Could you give out an outline? What am I planning on covering? Well, all right, there we go. I see you now. Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
I'm still not a I'm still not a user.
Yeah. No, I know you're
Hold
you're a
I gotta
TikTok
figure
man.
out.
All right. I think you know what it is. Your service, I think it's your Wi-Fi is weak. You've got a weak signal. Because I'm looking at your signal. Your signal is extremely weak. Yeah, you've only got one bar. So whatever you're using, you've only got. Okay. Because I can't hear you. Anyway, yeah, guys. So that's how it's gonna work. Everything is like I said. Everything is going to get taken care of today. Once I get off here, I'm going to look through all the applications that have come in. Then I'll start sending out that stuff. Like I said, the link is just the link. And like we did last time when we had the meeting, I sent out the link not too long. I don't send it out too far ahead of the event. So I'll probably be sending it out late Saturday. Is when the link is going to actually go out. And then you can just, use the link to log in at noon on Sunday. Yeah. But anyway, so that was that boycott situation. Crazy. Somebody also sent me, look, you know what, I think what is happening now is this. I think that there is a meltdown that a lot of white people are having, because of the loss of dominance. Because some of the videos I've been seeing, things that people have been sending to me are so shocking behavior. I'm just like, you know what? I think guys are just panicking. I saw one video where they were talking about, like, I think in America now, they're creating an all-white, in Alabama, they're creating an all-white town, a whites-only town. I don't know I think that they already created it. So does anybody know the name of that town in Alabama, the whites-only town? Anybody remember the name of it or know the name of it? Have you heard this story? Have you heard this story? The whites-only town in Alabama, which is where the Battle of Alabama was, actually, if you remember that. The Battle of Alabama, which we covered here. That was actually my first video on YouTube that did really well. Long video. But yeah, guys, somebody sent me a video. Key Bang, thank you too. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Arkansas State. Yeah, so what's the name of the town? Patricia has the info. Patrice rather has the info. What's the name of the town? That's the all-white town in Alabama, Arkansas. Arkansas State, okay. It's not Alabama, it's in Arkansas. Unless there are two separatist towns being formed. It's definitely with an A. I thought it was Alabama. Patrice says it's Arkansas. I saw it recently. It's a very recent report I saw. I saw it like today, this afternoon. So I haven't had time to even respond to it, but there was a video somebody sent me. And that the guy was trying to justify it and talking about how, I don't know what this guy was talking about, just talking some rubbish. You see, this is the thing I tell people. I said, if you're worried about your whiteness being wiped out, how is it that you believe that you have the superior genetics, but you're worried about every other group watering down if you have a superior genetic, then you should be able to sleep with anybody and dominate their genes. Because if a black person mates with anybody, you just dominate the genes. But we have the weak genetics. We're the ones with the non. It's not even logical. How are you going to look at us and tell us that we have weak genetics, but everybody we are involved with, we dominate the genetics. Listen, guys, I'm not a biologist. I'm just talking. It's just strange to me that I'm looking at guys making towns to cut themselves off because they're terrified that their genetics are going to be wiped. What? Isn't that just natural selection? It's natural selection. So why are you afraid of nature doing what nature does? You believe in God. You believe in spirituality. These same people believe in God and spirituality. Yet they believe that God put them on the earth and they are not supposed to mate with anybody because they'll be wiped out. Listen, man. Guys are confused. Guys are confused. Guys, it's just a Friday hangout. We're just talking. Don't hold me to any of this. Actually, you know what? Forget that. Hold me to everything. Hold me to everything, guys. It's Friday hangout. I don't understand it. You're creating a whites-only town in 2025. 2025. Black guys can walk around. We don't even care. Listen, I'm not trying to be crazy, but it's the truth. Black people are not even worried about that sort of thing because they know that, look, you can't wipe black people out. You have to literally stop black people from having sex. Like, you're going to have to stop that. That's the only way. Because what are you going to do? Either way, whether it's a black woman or a black man, either way. So even if you try and annihilate all the black men and you have the black woman, you're still going to come out with black babies. You annihilate all the black women, you only have black men, you're still going to come out with black babies. So what are we talking about? Guys should just live and let live. Live and let live. It's a black world, black planet, Public Enemy. Go and listen to the album Flavor Flav. Fear of a Black Planet. Very good album, by the way, guys. You should check it out. Very good album. Classic. That's what I'm looking at. These guys are like, come on, man. Guys are scared because they know yes, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Black Planet. I mean, what are guys afraid of? It's weird. I saw this video and the terror in these guys' eyes was crazy. I was like, these people are actually really scared. They're really afraid. I was like, wow. Because, you see, we don't think about that sort of stuff as black folks. Like, we don't even think about that. These guys are actually scared. I was like, wow, really? Springfield, okay. There's already one in Arkansas, okay. So Springfield, Missouri is building one as well. The one I saw, the video I saw was the one in Arkansas then, because I thought it was Alabama. I know it was an A. So the video I saw was definitely Arkansas because it was in Missouri, that's for sure. Oh, Adam W says that they're writing articles, but nobody will name the town. Of course, they won't name the town. They're scared. They're afraid. How can you be so scared of everything? What the hell? That is so weird. That's so weird, man. Just live. You believe in God, then why would God make something that's not right? In terms of DNA and genetics? That is a very good point, Patrice. Why don't they go back to Europe? The problem is in Europe, it's not white anymore either. You know, it's not white in Europe either. That's the problem. Guys are scared. Listen, I laugh when all of these people do this because it is inevitable. The planet is going to be black. There is no, we're reverting back to from whence we came. Have you heard again, these are all topics I'll do in one day, but one Chinese politician guy wanted to prove that Chinese people just evolved out of themselves from nowhere, from the sky, because people were telling him that Chinese people are an evolution of black people, because obviously through the Suez Canal, It wasn't the Suez Canal before the British came and created and broke it off. It was just a land bridge, and people migrated from Africa to Asia, and over thousands of years, they became Asian. You know? Uh-oh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
All right.
Yes. So, they became Asian, and the guy now he told his scientists, the top scientists in China, to go and check it up. And then unfortunately for him, when the scientists checked up the DNA, they said, "Sir, sorry, you guys are black." And like that, the politician refused to release the paperwork. That's why you've not heard about the research papers from China. You did this one. The only reason why we know is that because we know it through the back channels. The official release never happened. When the politician saw the paperwork, he said, we're not going to release this once. We know about it because he did it, and we know the results. But he never put it out in like a public thing, because they said, yes, Chinese people are black. And in fact, what they even found is that 1 in 3 Chinese people directly have African DNA. 1 in 3. 1 in 3 today. So it's so real that even after 6,000 years, 1 in 3 of them still have African DNA. The thing is that for those who know, we know. Like for example, the Benin people know that the Japanese are from Edo State. We know that. The Japanese are Benin folks. We know that. And some Japanese people are aware of it. Listen. Be very wary about history. Taipolitic, how are you? Good evening. Uh-oh. Is there a delay? Can you hear me?
I am good. How are you, sir?
Okay, I'm all right. There's a slight delay, but, we'll try and work with it. Congratulations on your 100,000 on TikTok. I see you're the king of TikTok now.
I don't know about that.
Oh, well, I think so. I think you're the king of TikTok, because I've retired from TikTok. They kicked me out of there. I got run out of town.
I see. I'm getting ready to retire from TikTok. To be honest with you.
Why? Where are you going to move to?
I want to try this Kai Sanat streaming thing.
Oh, kick. No. Twitch.
Yes. Twitch. Yes.
Twitch is the king. That's the streaming main thing. Like Twitch is for streamers.
Yeah. So I have a sneaky feeling that there might be a space for us there.
Yeah, Twitch. Somebody told me about Twitch as well. Yeah, I heard about Twitch. I might try Twitch as well, because I don't think that there's anybody doing this in Twitch, I don't think I have a Twitch account, but I never really got into it because I never really.
You don't really stream though.
I don't really stream. I'm not a streamer heavy like that.
You're not a streamer.
No, I'm not a streamer. Maybe I should be.
You are the classic definition of a content creator, like videographer, like producer, director kind of situation.
You know what? Yeah, but you've got to diversify. I think at that streaming thing, there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of potential in streaming. I think that's where you can really build relationships with audiences. I'm just not a streamer, but I think there's a lot of potential there.
You're right. It is when you are streaming, you build somewhat of an emotional connection with your audience.
Yes.
When you make content, they get connected with you once.
Yes.
Now, if you continue to roll out great content like you do, then they get invested. But if you stream, It's an emotional connection. The problem with TikTok is it is a major emotional, financial investment to stream for that long.
Listen,
So
yeah, I mean, TikTok for me, it's just it's too unpredictable. The too many barriers to. I mean, look, I put out videos. For example, my 550,000 accounts. I have two accounts, one with 110, one with 550. The 550 one, I put out a video. It got 600 views in 2 days. How do you have 500,000 and 550,000 people and your video doesn't even get 1,000 views? And this video is not like it's a bad video. This video is a video that has gotten 30-something thousand views in 6-7 hours on Instagram. A video about African Stream and them getting demonetized and all this sort of stuff. A video that I know for sure my audience would want to see. So when I see something like that, I'm like, this platform is just deciding your account is cold. We're not pushing your content. That's what it's doing.
Yeah, so TikTok does this thing where if you are off the platform or you're not regularly streaming, I'm convinced that they punish you.
Yeah.
And if you come regularly and you generate traffic, they push you a little bit.
Yes.
So you're correct about that. They're intentionally not pushing your videos.
Oh yeah.
I've always thought that about your content.
Oh yeah, 100%. In my prime, which was probably January 2023. No, 2020. Yeah, January 2023, February 2023. I would put out a video and within 10 minutes, I would have 10,000 views. 10 minutes. Within the first hour, I've gotten 25,000 views. Within an hour, 20,000 views in my prime. Now, forget. Listen, they've always held my views back. TikTok always did that because I always had a feeling that, you know what, based on how well my videos have done in the first few days, this thing could get 10 million views. Like, there's no reason why I wouldn't get 10 million views. I'm getting like 200,000 views within. There was one video I posted, the Black Panther video. I got 330,000 views in like 9 hours. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, man, at this rate, this thing should be like 10 million views. Those guys blocked it, took it down, banned it, killed it. I was like, wow. You know,
and the video we owe our platform to you because the video you did.
Oh, the Nigeria one, right?
History.
Origin of Nigeria. Yeah.
You have to post that video twice.
I did. I had to post that. I had to post the Oba Voranwen video 3 or 4 times. I had to post the Black Panther video twice. I mean, these guys would kill my videos, kill it. I'll have to bring these things back, report. It's very, very stupid. That's the reason why now, listen, man, Sunday, it's actually a big day to be able to release that project because it's not so much about the project that we're releasing. It's about the fact of how it's got, like that my community did that we actually raised that money from this initiative. And it wasn't with ad dollars. It wasn't with, AdSense or any of these things. It wasn't any sponsors. It was straight out of the community. That is a big deal, especially when you see the quality of this project. Very, very good quality, and the ideas that I have for the next projects are even bigger. Especially now that you've done something. Sorry.
Are you charging people for the project to watch to view the project?
No.
Are you going to charge?
This is free. No. So you can come to the event for free. But the idea that I have is that, listen, I'm telling people that please don't come to the event if you're not interested in becoming part of this thing, at least potentially. This is not just a viewing thing. Come and have Hangout and view something. This is like, come here because you want to be part of it. Now, to be honest, we weren't even going to invite anybody to begin with. That wasn't what it was supposed to happen. But the project got finished, and I just thought that, you know what? This might be a good idea to let people see what we did, because I know that there were a lot of skeptics who we've heard it all before, like, black people sticking together and trying to do something. When has it ever worked? And people always asking for donations, and we never see the products, or they never do it, or this person could be a scammer. There's all these sorts of things. So I feel like people seeing the results and seeing a finished product, seeing the people who contributed to it might help.
First of all, anybody that is a skeptic has not been to your TikTok page to see the quality of your content. Right? You were the reason I gave up on making videos about Nigeria, like historical videos, because I thought to myself, it makes no sense when somebody is in that lane and doing it excellently. There's no point me doing that. Like you do a great. So that content, if you decided to charge, I was talking to a principal at a school, and I was talking about your content, and the principal was saying that, you know what, in an ideal scenario, you will charge people 99 cents to view that video on Nigeria. Right? Because that thing is so good. And it's not just that content. So anyone that is a skeptic, go look at the videos you did for free.
These are all free videos.
Right? So you can't look at the quality of those videos and be a skeptic on what a paid properly.
No, listen, you'll be surprised. Listen, you'll be surprised. This is part of what I did the 300 to prove, and part of what the obstacle for the community is. Do you know how many people message me to complain about any charges that I make? There are people who complain about my newsletter charging $8 a month. I'm like, what are you high? A lot of my articles are free. Most of the content I produce are free. And listen, there was somebody who complained that the comments on one of my articles were locked for paying Substack subscribers. The article was free. He finished reading the article, and then he was annoyed that the comments were locked through a paywall. I was like, look at these people. This is a guy he's not a paid subscriber. He's never donated anything. Never. And I was just like, come on, guys. Listen, we can only do so much. Do you think I'm a robot? Do you think I'm a robot? You think I shouldn't eat? I should just continue just generating material for you for free? And I shouldn't eat? It's ridiculous. Listen, that's what we're up against. And that's the reason why I said that, look, the best thing we can do is accept that there will be a percentage of the community that are going to be haters. Just accept it and just focus on what you've got to do. Don't even like on Sunday, African Stream CEO is going to be talking with me at the opening of my thing, right? The founder of African Stream. And I looked at that and I said to myself, in a proper world, how does African Stream go down because of money? If things were real, how does some billionaire or some millionaire not go to this guy and just give him 10 million? Mm-hmm. How is... You see, if he was white and he was doing this for conservatives, do you know how rich he would be? Do you know how rich this guy would be if he was
even for liberals?
Even for liberals, yeah. It's because he's doing it for black people and for Africans. That's the reason. And we have money. There are guys with money, but we don't value this sort of stuff. There is no reason that dude shouldn't be a millionaire based on what he was able to put together with his team. There's no reason he shouldn't be a millionaire. No reason. The guy put together an entire African news network on his own, to the point that the thing got so big that the US government had to shut him down. And we don't have anybody that can finance this guy. Come on, man. Your thing, you're building your platform now. Look, you got 100,000. At some point, you're going to get too big, and they're going to try and come after you.
So I had a big thing with a Donald Trump video that I did, right? As much as possible, I've been trying to avoid Donald Trump's space.
Okay, let me see. Some people are saying that you're getting feedback. Let me try and kill your feedback. Hold on. Audio. Let me try and kill your feedback. Let's see if that works. All right. All right. Speak now, and let me see.
Okay.
You know what it
All
is?
right.
I know what.
Okay, so I don't hear the feedback.
I know what it is. I know what it is. You are on headphones, right? So
Yes,
is your speaker
yes.
is your speaker playing the speak now?
Oh, okay. Let me turn that down. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Can you still hear me?
Mute your actual speakers.
Okay. Let me do that. Let me do that.
Because I've muted mine. That's probably what the problem is.
Okay. No, the actual speakers are muted.
You muted it, okay? Because mine are muted, so that there shouldn't be any problem. I don't know why these guys are getting echo. They said they were getting echo. Anyway, yes. Sorry. Go on.
No, I was just saying that for the most part, I've tried to avoid Donald Trump directly.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been stepping in the African space
Yes.
and in the Nigerian space. So we did a video about him. You know, it was. I'm not gonna lie. I was pushing the envelope a little bit.
Okay.
And immediately straight to strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I appealed it. After a couple of days, they took up the strike, but it depressed the video. So that video is one of the lowest views video that I have. So you can see, I was listening to something you said about other people's platforms and being able to speak freely. And as I grow, I'm watching you very closely to
I
study.
lost you for a second. Hold on.
Hold on, let me make sure.
Why did I lose you? All right. Speak again.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. So I just said that I'm watching you very closely to see the template. And this is why I want to be on Twitch and as many places as possible. What happened to your newsletter on Telegram?
Telegram. No, listen. That one got my Telegram got completely infiltrated by bots. Wait a minute. You said that echo. Why are they getting echo? There should be no echo whatsoever. I'm not getting. My headphones are on, so there shouldn't be echo there. Hold on. I'm trying as well. All right. So is this better? I've put on echo cancellation. My headphones are. His headphones are on. There's no audio coming out of my. Yeah, I've literally switched off every possible way.
Okay, so I can't hear my echo anymore, so I think it's better. There's no
What did
delay
you do?
anymore.
What did you just do?
I didn't do anything. I think it's something you did.
Okay, because I've switched everything now. Like there's literally no reason there should be any echo.
Yeah.
Good now. He says good now. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
it's we can hear you. Yeah, so I'm watching earnestly and eagerly because one of the reasons I want to be on Twitch is because I'm beginning to realize, you know, that conversation you had with me on, I don't know if it was your live or my live, where you were talking about ownership. You know, we were having that conversation about how to translate this. Maybe because I only had 20,000 followers at the time, I didn't really, I was like, it's not going to, that is a Merc problem. That's big people problem, right? I don't have that problem. I will solve that when I get there. Well, now I'm realizing that I am getting there much faster than I thought because now I'm getting people not just from outside the country, but also people from Nigeria who are mass reporting my account. Now, on TikTok, I have done a number of things to make sure my account is Nigeria mass reporting proof, but I can't stop the Trump people and the other folks outside the country in the states and stuff. That one is too big for me to solve. So we have to think. So I'm watching eagerly your template because I got a couple of people that hit me up and say, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing what Merck is doing? I said, Merck just started doing it. Let me learn and see how it goes,
Wait a
so
minute.
that I
That
could
what
watch
I
and see how it goes.
with what? To do with what specifically?
So people have hit me up to say, hey, look, because I've been talking about getting a production crew, getting a proper studio, hiring a staff, because I'm getting more emails and requests from like people in the national space in Nigeria to do
Hmm.
interviews on different things, right? And
Hmm.
we're coming close to an election season, so I'm getting to the point where a couple of politicians have been
You
hitting
should
me
come
up to
and work.
come on the platform.
Okay. Be careful about that because
So
we are in Nigeria, so
I need to be extremely careful, right? This is why
they'll
I'm
come
going to
and
be
give
going back to the States
you in
very
prison
soon
for treason or
for a
something.
little vacation. Because I go back and forth, so that is helpful. That's helpful
Right.
in that space. But so I need to start thinking from the perspective of TikTok how to own stuff and how to be
You
able to
can't
make it
own anything from
transferable.
TikTok. You can't own anything in that place. The only place
Well,
that you need to be is this in Substack, newsletter. That's the place to be. It's very hard to grow, unfortunately, but that's the place to be because you own everything. The difficulty with
so
that is
TikTok has this new feature that I think is going to bite them in the butt, at least in my case. It's called newsletter or school, news board or something.
oh, I heard
And what
about
it
this. I
basically
heard about that.
Yes. So what it basically does is if you put it up there, people can join it and then you can send them direct messages. These are people that
Yes.
follow you.
Yeah, where is that again? Let
So
me see. Hold on.
it's called watch board or something,
How do you set
something
that?
whatever.
I'm on my
Now,
TikTok now. So where do you set that up on
how
TikTok?
did
I'm
I
on
even?
there. How do you find
You
that?
set it up on your settings. It just came up. I don't even know
On your
if your TikTok is updated, it'll just come up. So, and what it basically does is it allows you to send messages and when you go live to everybody on that list. And I I've signed up with other people, some content creators who have like 14, 15,000, and that is a way to directly
I haven't
communicate with my
updated.
people without making a video.
Really?
Yes, and when you go
Yeah.
live, it tells everybody there that you're live. So
So how many people do
now
you have in that? How many people can you have in there?
you could now that's a good question. I
See now.
joined this other huge content creator. He has about 4,000 people on his. I
In
only
his
have
thing.
about, I think, 300 in mine. So if this continues, this is exactly what I've been waiting for because now I can put stuff out directly to people on TikTok, right? I can communicate directly with my people. I don't have to go live to do it, right? And tell them to go do this, to go do
Hmm.
that. I can communicate directly with them when I'm going live. I can communicate directly with them, kind of like a switchboard directly, just me. People that are in the group can't talk. I can talk.
Yeah, but you see now, that's what I'm saying. Look, the reality is that look, they still control they still control that. So if they want to get rid of you, they can get rid of you,
True.
right?
True. True. This
I
is why
mean,
we're looking at.
yeah,
I'm looking at Substack. You're the third person to tell me about Substack. So I'm looking at Substack. I'm looking at
the
Twitch.
reason why I said stop stack is
Uh,
that you can even come and you can post on my platform, for example, as a means to help your own newsletter grow. So for example, I can get writers, which is something I was thinking of doing. So let's say you're in Nigeria and I'll be like, listen, I'll give you a slot every week to just write one Nigeria art. Just write a thing on what's going on in Nigeria. And you just post it every week with a link to because it's got your own publication name next to it.
mm,
So then I'll just say, listen, I'll give you a slot. You can just post on my thing every week. Things like that. That's what I was thinking. This is something I
yeah,
want to do anyway, because I wanted to get somebody from Kenya, somebody from Nigeria, somebody from South
I'm
Africa,
going to do
somebody,
it.
and
I'll
that they
do it. I'm
come.
down.
And then I just say, listen, all of you guys, you can write for me. And, it's going to be great exposure for you. You write for me, I give you one slot a week, you get one article a week. That gives me a direct access to my journalist on the ground in that country in Africa. obviously I would have to be do editorial on what you write.
You have
just make sure.
editorial rights, yeah.
But then other than that, it's yours, and you just post it on there. It's still yours, and for me, it helps because my goal is to inform my own audience, just to keep people informed on what is going down. So it's a win-win situation. Because my platform isn't specifically about any one African country, whereas you are focused on Nigeria, So it would sort of
I'm focused. Yes, yes, this is true. I do delve. I had an interview with a young woman who lives in Burkina Faso, and she was talking about Ibrahim Traore. We did a really good interview with her. She couldn't turn on her camera, but she spoke. So we did an interview with a lady that was trafficked from Eritrea to Libya. So we've been delving on the weekends, because there's only so many ways you can bash Bola Tinubu. We've been we've been going deeper, like into colonialism, neo-colonialism, the root causes on the weekends. But you're right. You're right. We tend to focus in on Nigeria because I do still believe that if we can find a way to activate enough people to change the system in Nigeria and to be woke, it will spark something. Across the
Nigeria
continent.
is a sleeping giant. I think. Listen, when you brought that up, I tactically stopped making Nigeria-centric videos because I already knew every time I release a Nigeria video, it goes viral. I get crazy views with my Nigeria videos. But then I was careful because, listen, man, do you know that I can't even go on the road anymore? I can't, in particular areas.
My brother, when I'm in Nigeria, right, I can't go around certain areas in the big cities, right? I was at the airport. I tell the story how I was at the airport. This policeman was chasing me. So I'm running in the airport. He's chasing me with a gun and I'm running because I want to get to a crowded place. He's chasing me and I'm running. And eventually I stop running and he turns around and he asks me, why are you running? I said, because you have a gun and you're chasing me. So he said, no. Aren't you Taipolitic? I said, I don't know what a politic is. I don't know what that is. He said, no, you have a platform on TikTok. I said, I don't even know what TikTok is. So I got away with that, but I can't. You're right. There is that element of that being a major factor.
There is.
Nigeria.
I mean, if you're in, because I mean, listen,
I was at the airport. I was at the airport last time I was in the States, and literally, I heard a scream. Because see, I need to start getting shades like yours to cover my eyes because once they see the glasses, boom, they already know Politic. So I have to. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But already when I'm in Nigeria, I cannot go to certain places. In fact, there's another big Nigerian content creator in the relationship space, really big. She's a friend of mine. She was telling me, she was like, "You really have to be careful because she says there was an assassination attempt against her, and she does relationship. She does relationship. She doesn't even do politics.
What?
Assassination attempt.
What did they do?
They try to kidnap her, because she does content about relationships from the perspective of making sure that, men are men and women are women. And some people take it really, really serious. So I think you are the first person. This is the first time that I'm probably disclosing my exact location.
Hi, Roxana.
Normally I'm in the US, I'm back in Nigeria, so I don't even talk about my location anymore. I haven't run into the government as a problem because I am very there's nothing I say on my platform that is not public record. Right. So I only talk about things make videos about content that is already in the public space. So for you to come after me, you would have to go after 5 or 6 different newspapers, even though I could probably talk about a lot more. So it comes with the territory, but you are more well known in Nigeria and in the States than I am, because somebody was talking about, and they were like, I remember that video, but it wasn't your video. I said, what are you talking about? The video, you didn't do the video. You were just sitting there looking. It was Merck. So I get more feedback from that Nigeria video that blew us up, right? That is still my highest video. I don't know if you know. That video has 900,000 views. I think it's
You
going to
know
hit
what?
1 million
Do you know
very
what's
soon.
crazy? Do you know that I have a video that has almost 10 million views? I
Wow.
have a video on YouTube that is almost 10 million. I have another one that's like 7 million. I have videos with like 10 and 7 million views. And you know what the funny thing is? This is the thing. If I wanted to be real, like I was just doing this for views, I would stick to Nigerian videos. Anytime I make a video on Nigeria, that thing goes crazy. That's easy money. The reason why I didn't go in that direction is that Nigeria is not a safe place. The kinds of things that I was saying, I was like, you know what? At a point, even though all this stuff I'm telling you is, like you said, it's in the public. I'm getting publicly available information. This is stuff that people want people to forget about. Like they don't want them to remember some of these things. They don't want them to be, like I said, the Civil War is a gold mine of videos. It's a gold mine of information. But once you start going in that direction, the next thing you know, guys will say that you're doing treason. Really? They just make it up.
So I'm at the point, Merck, where I have to be in contact with attorneys now, right? Like I did one particular video. I won't say which video it was, but that video did so well that a friend of mine who's a lawyer in Nigeria said, okay, look, your video came up at a lawyer's meeting of senior advocates, and your video came up in that meeting. And it didn't come up in the context of, oh, you're doing a good job. It came up in the context of, oh, these are attorneys, lawyers, senior lawyers in the country that represent the government. And they were using one of my videos as a case study on how can we use the law to take these people down. Now, I have friends or acquaintances that are in the government, right? So I get to hear about stuff like this. So he told me, he's like, look, there's nothing to be worried about, but you need to make sure I'm on retainer, and we have to have people on retainer if you're going to keep doing this, because you need to stop. He was the first one to tell me, stop disclosing your location. Because back then, when I used to make videos, I didn't even use a green screen. So people would tell me, oh, wait, you're in your hotel. Oh, you're in your house. I didn't care. I was on TikTok. I didn't care until I realized that, wow, this was getting, especially with my live, when I go live, like it gets really intense. So that's when I started using the green screen. That's when I stopped telling people, oh, I'm now in America. I'll be in Nigeria in 4 days. Or I don't tell people how long I'm going to be in Nigeria. I don't tell people, there's one time I was in the Bahamas and I was streaming from the Bahamas. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. That was interesting. So look, it comes with the territory, right? It comes with the territory. One of the things I've always said is that Nigerian history is filled with gold mines, right? It's filled. I'm working on an ebook right now, a couple of ebooks, and I'm working on a children's book for a school that they're going to use for Nigerian history. And it's filled with so much stuff, right? And this is why I'm keenly watching what you're doing, because I am hoping that you will get to the point where you are able to do Nigerian history videos and put it on a streaming service where people can pay. You
Yeah,
get
but you see,
control of that
yes,
thing
but you see now
and
this
watch it.
no, yes, but you see, this is the thing, which is why I said that you should be in the 300 meetings, because I have a lot of plans. The key is that the only reason why I'm even in the position I'm in now is because of how much I've given people for free. That's the reason. People have gotten a lot. Most of the stuff I've put out is free. It's free.
I don't know what paid stuff you're talking about, but I think 90% of your stuff,
90% of my stuff is free. Like it's like
it's free.
99% of my stuff is free. So what I'm saying is that, which is why I get so angry when people even get upset that I'm putting some paywall stuff. I'm like, do you know the amount of material that I give away for nothing? And the small things, and I'm giving it to some people because there are people who understand the amount of work I'm doing, and that's why they're even getting subscriptions and getting memberships. My Substack membership, I told people, I said, okay, so Substack, I've got over 6,000 subscribers on Substack, right? Mm-hmm. And I said that, do you know that if 1,000 of those people got a subscription, the kind of videos I could make for the community? If just 1,000 of them paid that $8, you see, this is the thing that I'm working to change over time, of the way we think versus the way that white folks think. They think that way. We are not yet quite there, but we're going to get there, which is what the 300 has done with the project we just completed and so forth. It's step by step. If those people did that, what automatically happens is that if you see the videos I've been making for free, that I've been doing all by myself, when I'm empowered with actual finances to actually now go and hire an actual team, hire an actual staff, get project managers, do the kinds of things I can produce that would give you even more quality material. So for example, the point I'm making is that you paying like what, $8 a month times 1,000 people doing that, but to you, it is still just $8 to you. The quality of material you then get jumps up by 100 of the material you get essentially for free. But the only way you can make that connection is that you have to start thinking of this as a collective effort and not an effort of just me. What am I going to get for this? What are you going to give me for? What are you going to... If you start thinking of it as, well, you know what? We are so far behind the start line compared to the other community. What it's going to take to even get us to the start line is a monumental team effort, because we are not in the same playing field as any of these other groups. We're far behind them. We need to get into that mentality of like, guys, this is a team effort. Most people just talk. They just talk, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is that is what is killing us as a community, is that, listen, man, while we're talking, these people are doing. Do you know how united the Latinos are? And let's not even start talking about the Asians. There is no country you go to, even in Nigeria. Look how the Asians behave in Nigeria. Anywhere they go, it is like a unit. Their mentality is we pool our resources. We pool. If you need a house and we are in a foreign country now, we're all we've got. That's the mentality. We're in a foreign country now, we're all we've got. We don't have that, unfortunately, but we're going to get there. You know? But listen, Ms. Sherida, we are not far. Listen, we're far. We're far.
No, we're far. We're far. If you've lived in the States and you spent your adult life in the States like I have, you know how far behind we are.
Yeah, we're far.
You know, there's a political platform in America called, I don't want to give them any credence, but that platform, right? They started from one guy. They got themselves a financier, not somebody, he just cut them a check. Let them go. Just woke up one day and said, I'm gonna cut them a check.
What platform is this?
I don't want to give them free press. Let them come pay you. We need to stop giving them free publicity. Let them come pay you. So now, but the point I'm trying to make is they went from one person to a whole production crew. They're on every major platform, and they're still putting out content, and they're generating revenue off of what that one person did. I like what you're doing because it is pushing the envelope. And you see, it's a little bit selfish if you just sat there. And I was explaining this to someone the other day when we were talking about your platform. And I said, it is because the person was saying, oh, why is he going into this paying thing? Why is he doing the paying? Why is he going? I said, because.
About me?
Well, yeah, we were talking about you. And I said to the person, I said, you see, if he was egotistic and selfish, he would just continue making it about himself. But because he has a bigger vision, he's trying to put something on the ground that would outlast and outlive him.
Yes,
And
100%.
in order for
That's
you to do that, you need to create a system so that after you are gone, all you would need to do is just say, hey, this is the person I'm appointing, this is my board, carry on. And that's how you do legacy. But the problem is a lot of us in the African space, or even in
in the
the black
black
folk space,
community.
we are not used to seeing that.
We don't have
You know,
legacy. We don't. We
we don't
don't.
have legacy.
We don't
Whitey
think that
people
way.
plan 100 years.
We plan a
We
thousand
plan
years in advance.
20. You
Yeah,
get my point?
we plan 1 year in advance. We don't even plan 20 years in
In
advance.
advance.
We
And
don't.
that's
We don't think that way.
and what you're doing with the 300 is a phenomenal example of that, because you are basically bringing a group together and you're saying, hey, look, let's do something. You know, you did a video, I think you said it has never been done before.
It's never been
I was
done
reading
before.
the comment section on Instagram. People are crazy on Instagram. I think out of all the social media platforms, the craziest comment section people are Instagram. And you could see some people were like, oh, it's been done. It's been done. I was like, no, these people don't get it. You don't get it. You almost have to be in the content creation space to know how. I had to take a week off. I had to take a week off of TikTok because I was like, you know what? I'm getting burnt out. I need to step back, reassess, reprogram, and come up with a system. And now my sister follows you, my mother follows you, and so my mother was like, why don't you go do what Merck is doing? Like I said, when somebody is marching ahead of you, you got to let them go to see where they you got to
Where you
let them
end up.
navigate. Yeah, no, I know where you're going to end up, but the whole point of being a front runner is to go ahead, go ahead.
Well, you
Let
know
me
what?
see
Look,
where.
you're also trying things because I don't know that certain things are going to work anyway. So I'm
Yes.
there are many angles I went in that didn't quite work the way I thought they were going to work. Things I tried that didn't work. So where I am now is that, like Adam W is saying, you see, Adam W. This is the thing I tried to tell Adam because Adam came on I had him on the live show. See, Adam, I believe is white, right? And I was explaining to him, I'm like, you come from a community where this is normal to you. So
Yes.
it's a no-brainer to him. Like he does, because he comes from a community where if you like what somebody is making and you know that they need money to keep doing it, it's a no-brainer because you want them to keep doing it. It's almost selfish. I want you to keep providing content that I like. I know the establishment isn't going to support you in doing this. So I'm going to pay you because I want you to keep doing it for me. The black community and black people, we don't have that. And it's not our fault, to be honest. When you look at the damage psychologically that colonialism and slavery did to our brains, look at Nigerians. Like, as Nigerians with colonialism, you were conditioned not to function as a unit. That's the whole point of being colonized. It's like everything you do is for the empire. You're not supposed to mobilize and team up yourself. That is not the way it's supposed to work. Now, when you imbibe that for generations, you end up in a position where it's like, for you to break out of that takes a big effort because you're not fighting the outsiders anymore. You're fighting your own people. You're actually
Yeah.
fighting your own folks who are so deeply entrenched in this like, what do I put it? This selfish, egotistical, I don't know what word to use, mentality, that they're not the concept of like, hey, let's do something as a collective. All they're thinking is that if you come to them and say that, listen, you want to say, why should I give it to you? Why should I give it to you? Who are you? Why do you this? And you're like, wait a minute. How are we
And
supposed
the
to do
crazy
anything?
thing is, if you no, but this is why the thing with you is ridiculous, because if you look at your body of work on, I'm going to say TikTok, right? Because I'm familiar with TikTok the most. You look at your body of work on TikTok, right? You look at your two platforms. You look at the quality of your videos, right? I have sent people to your page to say, hey, you want to discuss African stuff, you don't know anything, just go to Merck's video. This is his platform. Watch like five, wherever you see Nigeria or Africa, watch like 5 or 6 of those videos, and come back to the live, and you and I can like have a thought-provoking discussion. The person I sent, he was like, "Oh, I've joined him on Instagram. I've gone to find him on Substack. I'm going to," because the body of work is there. You didn't just come out of nowhere and say, "Guys, let me gather 300 people and all give me 100." No, you have the body of work is there, which is why I'm getting to the point, even me, where I don't even explain, and you shouldn't explain too much to anybody. Look, if anybody doubts, go and look at the body of work, and then let me see what you have done, and then there's nobody else, right, that has done content Afrocentric and gained as much followership and traction on any social media platform like you have. Do you realize that your video that I do it, the one on Nigeria, right? 900,000. It is my highest earning video. It is the video with the highest, and all I did was just sit there and just listen to you talk. When I watched your video, I was working on a Nigerian history video. When I watched your video, I told the person that I said, "Forget it." He was like, "No, I was like, "Look, this man has done it. This is clearly his space. We have been struggling with this video for like almost a year now, right? So let this man occupy the space, right? He's doing a great job." So, and you don't have to explain. I don't explain. Look, just tell them, go look at my videos. Go look at my body of work.
I'll tell you the frustration. This is the frustration. I know what we're capable of, and I just wish more of us knew. And that's where I'm frustrated, because I already see what we could do. There are, within my group of people, listen, I have 208,000 subscribers on YouTube. I gained 108,000 in the last 6 weeks or something, right? I have 700,000 TikTok followers between 2 accounts. I've got 150,000 Instagram followers, 6,000 Substack people. So when you add all of that together, it's roughly about 1 million people, right? Now, with that many people, you're telling me I do not have 1,000 people who would pay $10 a month? Of course you do. The reason why they don't do it is belief. That's all it is. It's not about the expense. It's about the mindset. Now, the reason why I say this is that, you see, I'm different from let me not say that. I don't want to put anybody down. I actually really believe in what I'm doing, right? So if I had resources, I will really do the thing. I'm not getting resources to go and live on a yacht, to go and flex, look at how I'm living. That's not what I'm interested in. I actually really believe in what I'm doing. So for me, the equivalent of what $1 million would mean to one person is what 100,000 would mean to me, to make projects and to actually do things, because I really would utilize that for the actual process. I would really utilize it for the process. And that is the reason why it frustrates me, because I'm like, man, the ideas I have of the things that we need as a community in terms of history and education are so clear to me that the only barrier is the resources. I simply do not have the resources. Do you know how crazy it is that with my following, how many sponsors do you think contacted me to sponsor me? None. There are people with 20 subscribers who have proper sponsors, real big-time sponsors who contact them at 20,000.
Are you kidding? You don't have any sponsors that have reached out to you?
No sponsors reach out to me, none of them. Nobody. And that's how I know what I'm doing is good. Wow. That's how I know what I'm doing is for real.
Wow.
The fact that at my level, like, I actually really have influence. Like, some people just make content. People actually know me. Like, this is his stuff. This is what he does. They know. So that I'm the type of person people would want to sponsor, typically, because you're sponsoring a person who's an actual brand. So that's what, because this guy could tell people to buy my product. He could literally just tell people, as opposed to people who just make videos about blah, blah. You don't even know who's making the video. You don't know. My thing is that there's an actual brand behind what I do. The fact that I don't have sponsors, nobody reaches out to me, is because what I make, nobody wants to be associated with that. Like, there's no product that looks at my material and says, yes, my product will really fit with. The guys are not automatically thinking that way. Nah, I would have to go and find them and convince people to sponsor me, is what I'm saying. Like, that's what it would take. And to be honest,
but at your level, you shouldn't even have to.
I shouldn't have to, of course not.
Right? No. At my level, I had to go and convince, right? I had to go and convince. But at your level, you shouldn't have to go and convince.
Put it this way: do you have sponsors now?
So I have one company, two companies that we were talking to. One dropped off, but there's another company that we're talking to about some education content. There's some schools. There's about 3 or 4 private schools that are trying to push me to do an ebook that they can use for their schools and do some stuff. So there's some sponsors that are coming on board. My problem and my struggle is I don't want to filter myself.
Right. Adam W just said something like, this is actually funny. Go on. So you don't want to filter yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to have to filter myself. Right. And in one of the conversations with one of the companies, they made a statement that said, can you tone down the Tinubu stuff?
You see, now that's actually part of the problem. That's part of the problem. That's something I don't want to happen. That's something I don't want to happen. No, listen, because Adam W is even saying, like, so for example, I know on Instagram I have some famous people who are subscribers, and he's talking about Joy Reid, who's one of my subscribers, and Glenn Kushner. I don't actually follow the guy. I don't know him that well. Like, who is Glenn Kushner? I don't know who Glenn Kushner is personally.
Joy Reid? You don't know who Joy Reid is?
No, I know who Joy Reid is, of course. I don't know who Glenn. No, the reason why I know, and also listen, of course I know who she is, but she also is responsible for a lot of subscribers on my Substack, because she actually promotes my Substack and recommends my Substack to people. I've tried to contact her, but I don't think she sees my emails, because she gets like probably 1,000 emails a day. Because I wanted to get her on my platform. I was like, listen, she should definitely come, because she's one of the first paid subscribers on my Substack that I ever had, before she even had a Substack. Wow. She was one of the first paid. I think she was even a paid member before she left MSNBC. Yes, for sure. She was even, she was one of the first. Because I remember when I started and I was trying to get paid subscribers, and I only had like under 1,000 subs or something on Substack. She was literally one of the first people who subbed, and one of the first, when I switched to paid, one of the first paid members of my Substack. So she's actually.
I have a whole new other level of respect for Joy Reid. She's putting her money where her mouth is. That's
she supported my platform from the super beginning, when I had nobody. So it wasn't like I even had a big following. I had like a few hundred, and she was one of the first. She was in my paid members before I even broke 20 paid subscribers. Like it was that low. So I know that she's genuinely interested in what I do. And that's the reason why I said, you know what, she'd be a perfect person for me to talk to, because she comes from obviously Black America, politics, and so forth. And I'm from, a diaspora African perspective. But my interest strongly lies in the connection between the diaspora and Africa, very strongly. Because I spent my adult life was America. I went to America when I was a teenager, like late, and I became a man in America. So for me, it's like America is like a big part of my psychology. And I was in New York and Los Angeles. So it's like, the two coasts, the two main places. So she's somebody so basically I need to figure out how to reach out. I've tried with emails. I do not know how to contact her where she will actually see the message. That's the problem. So
have you tried Instagram?
No, I didn't try. That seems even harder to use.
Really?
It's because Instagram filters your messages to like unknown.
I have only 1,000 followers. This is, famous people problem you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
This
listen,
is
look, this
we
is
don't have that problem yet.
where I am
So
with my platform now in terms of the interest in Africa and what I do. Listen, the difference between me now and having 1 million YouTube subscribers is not that big anymore. Like, it's really just a case of it will take a few videos that happen to hit. That's all it would be. Just a certain number of videos I could make that just hits, and then you're there, because I think the interest is there. It's just now a case of consistency, which is what you have. I don't have the consistency on any single platform that has been able to push me over the edge. But
you have the quality. What you lack in the consistency, you make up in the quality of your content.
I know, but it's the consistency that I think is what I now need to get to that elite level. The elite level is when you want to break 1 million. It's like then you're at that elite level, especially on YouTube. And it's going to take, see, for YouTube, I can see it already. Because I'm sort of on that edge, it will take me being like, this is all I'm doing. And I have to hit a video. A video has to come out every week. I have to be hitting a live I have to go live like every day. You know, that sort of thing is what will trigger the algorithm to really be like, poof, would explode. But I can't do that. I haven't got the time. If I could sit and come on live every day like this, you see this conversation, what we're doing now, people don't get this sort of stuff in the African space. They don't, you know?
Yeah.
So people would really benefit from this level of conversation to do with Africa and the diaspora. The difficulty for me is that I have no team. Let's say I had a team who would prepare the subjects for me, the topics, prepare the life. All I have to do is just show up. And we're talking a different story.
I see, and let me just put this out there. I see the 300 as just the beginning, right? Because I don't know how you're going to do it, but I see another concept that says, hey, look, we need a team. We need a team of this and this and this, and this is the cost of that team. You need a staff, because you should have a full blown team.
I should have a full team.
You know, if I'm thinking about a team, you definitely need to have it. Like before the end of this year, I'm going to hire about 20 people.
I should have a team, but you see the problem, Taipolitic. No, you see what you're saying is true, but this is why we should talk. The reality is that we should just collaborate, because you need to tell me what you're trying to do. I know what I'm trying to do. If I know what it is you're trying to do, I can empower you to achieve that. And maybe there is a symbiotic way that I could be helped. Because my biggest problem, you see, what I would love, if you're in Nigeria, I would want a Lagos-based team. I'll pay them. I'm happy with that. Because you see, for me, to be able to put money in the pockets of Nigerians is fantastic for me psychologically. Psychologically, I feel good about that. So if I could actually be like, I'm paying Nigerians and they're eating off me, I actually feel better than paying some random. No, I'll be like, no, man, if I'm paying X amount, I'll rather give it to Nigerians. So if somebody could come to me and say, listen, I'll set up an office for you in Nigeria. This is how much it's going to cost to hire a social media guy, blah, 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 blah. This is your office. I'm in Nigeria every year. So it's like, I'll go and see them every year. But the point is, if I had somebody I want to interview, he's asking me for interview here. You want to interview on the... Oh, okay. Yes, so, you know, that sort of thing is where I'm going. Is like, if we could do that, and you could say, listen, I'm trying to grow my platform, I'm trying to break into YouTube, I'm trying to break into Substack. Whatever it is you're trying to do, there has to be some kind of symbiosis where we're not just all islands trying to hustle on our own. That is my vision for this, was always a community of content creators, African content creators, working together. That's what I really wanted. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to achieve that. I don't know why.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because in the African space, right, how many people are doing what you're doing? Right? Can you name, I mean, okay, I was about to say, right? Can you name one person that is doing not even, maybe not even at the level that you're doing it, but just in that space consistently on any social media platform. No, there isn't. So if you're talking about collaboration, right? You're in a lane, in a highway lane, where you are the uh you're what's the word I'm looking for? You're the one. You're the trendsetter.
You're trailblazing something, but you see now this is
You're
something.
trailblazing. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
this
word
is
I'm looking
something.
for. You're
Let me see
trailblazing.
your comments here. This comment. So lifestyle with Abby. So this is the thing I'm talking about. I hear what she's saying about don't get caught up in the number of subscribers, don't get caught up in who is following you and this thing. This is what I keep trying to explain to the community. I don't care about those things. What I do care about is the reality that you need to survive. Why has African Stream closed down? You know why? Because they have no money. That's why. The source of their funds
I
was
saw that
taken
video.
from
That's
them.
sad.
The source of their money was X and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and ads and revenue. That was how they made their money. So once you turned that off, they had to go. The only reason why I'm surviving, do you know why I'm surviving? Do you know how I've survived this year? The 300 is the reason why my platform is still around. Because that first quarter money has just kept the machines turning this entire time. If I did not do the 300, what would I be doing? When they finish banning me on TikTok, my YouTube videos is up, down, left, right. You do not know what's going to happen. This and that. If it wasn't for me creating my own revenue, I would be screwed. And the Back to Africa handbook that I released, the ebook. These are all separate things that have nothing to do with with AdSense or whatever. I created the ebook. People bought it. I did the 300. People did that. Now, this is the thing. When you look at this, I have to be smart and think, hey, I cannot just be flying by the hoax that is social media. I can't do that. I have to make sure now that I start thinking about monetization and saying that, listen, I need a core group of people and an independent system that can actually finance what I'm doing, because this is too risky. Tomorrow, these people could ban me from everywhere and it is over with. I have to find, as they said, 1,000 people who will put $100 in. That's 100,000. You're fine. Once you do that, it's over. 1,000 people who are like, listen, we're good for 100. We give you 100 every blah 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 whatever sequence. Then you don't have an issue anymore. You don't have to worry about these things. But I'd be a fool if I don't think about that, because you see what's happened to these guys. Look at what's happened to it. You know what? It's one of two things. Either you're going to get canned, or you're going to sell out, whereby somebody is going to pay your way, like a sponsor is going to take you on board, and then they're going to tell you what you can and can't say. It's one of those two things. You know? Maria Marquez, you're from Portugal. Yes.
You are 1,000% correct. I have had businesses that are like, I literally had a meeting with some folks that told me, look, you are this and this thing that you do is subsidizing everything you're doing on TikTok. And somebody literally just told me, it's very selfish of you to not begin to explore how this thing can pay for itself, because it will die if you keep subsidizing it with something else. And that's what we've been doing. Like on my platform, I literally, my businesses and savings and all the other stuff has been subsidizing my time.
Yep.
That is not somebody just told me like this. He said, hey, look, you're a business person, Ty. Would you ever manage a business like this?
Never, no.
I said, no, absolutely not. Actually, you know what he did? He presented the presentation and told me, oh, there's this company and they're doing this and this and the person's doing this. And I said, that is a terrible way. That's not sustainable and that's selfish.
Man.
He said, that is what you're doing with your platform. So it's very important to think about how this thing can be sustained. That's the key, right? Because if you don't have a staff, if you don't have a monetization thing, if you don't have 1,000 people giving, right?
It's over.
If something happens to you, God forbid, what happens to the platform?
It's over. Like.
Do you get my point? Because there's no system.
There's no system. I'm already burnt out, and I'm already thinking about that a lot now. I'm like, man, look at what we've achieved, and it's just one man doing this. Like, imagine if I actually had a team of people who understood the mission, understood what we're trying to do. I don't have to be the only brain doing everything. If we had a system, this whole thing would be like my worry now is that I have so many things I would want to be doing right now that I can't do because I'm the only one doing it. That's really the concern. It's like the bottleneck now is actually me and how much I can do. Okay? So I've now got to figure out how to delegate, first of all, I've hired many people that weren't good enough, put it that way, that I had to let go. So I had many people and I was like, nope, that wasn't going to work. I had to get rid. So now I'm thinking that, you know what? Finding the right people is part of the challenge. When you then find the right people, training them, having good systems in place, getting people who appreciate and believe in the vision that you have. These are all important factors because, listen, I am an independent guy. I am not doing anything hoping that the establishment will notice me so I can get a chance with them. That's not what I'm doing. I haven't got any interest in being involved with any of that. My main focus is complete autonomy and independence. The difference, and I think part of why I've even survived this long, is that I'm not an out-and-out controversy person. There's some people, I would say you're more controversial than me, by far. I'm not as incendiary.
Well, I might be controversial in Nigeria.
Yes.
You are controversial, right, in the global space.
Yes, but I'm not, some people just make videos just to be crazy. My videos are like, yeah, you could see it as controversial, but is anything I'm saying that crazy? Is it that?
To the YT establishment, everything you are saying is exactly what they have been trying to silence. You see, my stuff is restricted to Nigeria, and the infrastructure, they haven't caught up with social media, so they don't know how to fight my stuff. Right? You are battling, and this is I'm making the case for why you need a structure and a system and a 300 and a 1000. You are battling a global establishment that is designed to intentionally keep Black people, people of African descent, melanated people down, and you are targeting it at the root cause. So the worst thing they could do to me, right? I spent most of my adult life in the States. I go back and forth. There's a limit to how much stuff they can do to me. You are attacking. You do you realize that you are actually African Stream on steroids because of what you do. African Stream is reporting stuff that, just putting it out there. You are telling the why. You're explaining the why. Like I know you don't have to tell me twice. I already know that your platform has gotten to the highest levels of American political conversations in rooms, because there's no way. If my video, let me put it to you like this. I made a video, right, about the president of Nigeria. I didn't do any history. I was just sitting down there talking into a camera, put some newspaper clips. If my video makes it all the way up to the chief of staff and an assistant to the chief of staff of the president, right, who was presenting it to a bunch of senior advocates, think about where your video has made it to. So you coming up with the 1000, I'm saying this to let everybody listen to me now hear that you coming for the 1000 is a protective mechanism for the structure to sustain what you're doing.
Yeah, but you see,
because you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it because you have. My father used to say that if you're going to do anything well, do it with a spirit of excellence.
Right.
Every one of your videos has a spirit of excellence to the research, to the content, to how you put. Do you know that I've stolen some of your lines? Like many times when I'm doing a video, I'll say, "Pay attention," because it works. It works, right? So my point is, you are like, you need that structure.
I mean,
I don't know what your you will get to a point where folks will start calling you for questioning in certain places.
I mean, I do need the structure, but you see, the thing is this is the thing. As you said, which is why I said Sunday is such a big deal for me, because it shows people what we're capable of. We have to recondition the minds of the community, because till the minds are reconditioned, it's impossible to get people to do the thing that is obvious and simple. The obvious and simple thing is what you just said. To be honest, we should have protected African Stream, but they didn't plan. I don't believe that they didn't know they were going to get that big, and then they didn't plan it well enough, because by the time they got that big, they were already so entrenched with that system of making their money that for them to turn around and figure out an independent way of doing it would have meant for them stopping the entire platform and and it just wasn't going to work for them. For me, I've started that from the ground up, but what it means is that I've got to now look at my community and convince people that this is the way forward. They don't know. They don't understand. It's very difficult for them to. Do you know why I say this? Is that if they did understand, I'd already be there. Do you know that my Substack percentage of paid Substack members is the lowest percentage on Substack? Do you know that? The average of paid conversions is 5%. 3 to 5%. 3 is low, 5% is like what people usually get. Some people get 7% convert. Do you know what my conversion is? Less than 1%.
So wait. That's the percentage of people who have
yes.
who follow you.
No. So Substack has analytics where it says that when you get subscribers, they have a average of. They tell you that don't go paid immediately. Start by just giving people free content. And then at a point, it shows them what you're giving. And most people will say, man, this guy does good work for us, or she does good work for us. People would be willing to just pay you, not even for anything special, just to continue to work. So a lot of time they say that you don't even have to paywall anything. People are just so grateful for what you've done for them and what you're writing and what you're making. They'll just pay you the $8 a month just to say thank you. So what they say is that the average that you will get of conversion is about 5%, but the low end is 3%. Okay?
Wow.
Mine is less than 1%. So what I'm trying to say is that what that shows is that the mentality of my community just isn't there yet. It's not that they're bad. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that we're not the same as these folks. Like there's a lot of conditioning necessary, which is why, look, I don't even get that angry about it. I just keep doing the articles. I keep putting out the content because I understand is that, you know what? People said, oh, it is our fault. I don't think it's our fault. When a group of people who are downtrodden and are presented with
PTSD
to help, exactly, and then they're shown something that they say they want, and they still are not willing to even give a token for that, that is not about them. It's about conditioning.
Yeah.
It's purely conditioning. Because if you think about it, white supremacists being given hateful articles are willing to pay triple for that to read hate. You see what I'm saying? They're willing to donate money and do whatever to read hateful stuff. We won't do the same to read things about our history and our education, or we'll question the person and say, why are you asking to charge? So what I'm trying to say is that...
A quick question. Are the majority of your subscribers on Substack, are they in the diaspora in America? Are they Africans living outside?
Everywhere. So most of them are in America. I would say about 50%, 55% America, and then 20% UK, and then everything else is just spread out everywhere else. Yeah. Nigeria is not even that high a percentage of my Substack members. It's not even that high a percentage. But you see, the thing is...
Yeah, because Substack is not something that folks in Nigeria...
No. It's predominantly America. But as I said, I think this is part of it. So when I was talking to some Substack people, they said, how many followers and subscribers do you have in your community? And I told them, they said, what? And I said, yeah, man, I have like almost 1 million people. And you only have like 5,000 Substack, subscribe. They couldn't understand.
It made no sense, right?
It doesn't make sense to them. They're like, how is that even possible? Because all it would take is a few posts to just say you have a newsletter, and you should have at least 50,000 people subscribe out of 1 million people. I was like, you don't know. We are not there yet. People in my community, and this is to us as the Black and African community, we are more comfortable complaining about a problem than acting to solve the problem. So when people complain about censorship, our voices not being heard, not seeing things, and then you come with the solution and you say, listen, come to this newsletter where you will not have to worry about not being seen or not seeing the content or whatever, they will hear you say that and they will not do it. The reason being, and this is the sick part, this is the sick part, it's who's telling them. Because it is a subconscious thing. You see, if it was the hot move to move to Substack, like white people were saying it was on adverts, it was on commercial, it's the thing to do, people would be more inclined to do it. Because the place to be is Instagram, is even TikTok, but Instagram, Facebook, this thing, it's things you know. Even though you know they're abusing you and stealing your data, and they're censoring people and they're banning people, you'd still stay there, as opposed to go somewhere that you're like, why am I going to go? If I go over there, nobody else is there. That's the problem. And you see, this is why it is very bad for us as a community. We are the community that should be taking that step. You see what I'm saying? Because we're the disenfranchised. As the disenfranchised, we should be the community that are desperately looking for the outside the box move. People think that you are rich, Maria Marquez. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I think people think I'm rich. I think that's part of it. I think people.
No, you know what it is. It's not even that people think you're rich. It's that you don't beg.
I don't, though. No.
People are used to people of color, especially when they know you have a Nigerian background, begging. Right. So when you come out and that's what. But you know what? And I think this has something to do with it.
You shouldn't beg. You shouldn't.
No,
beg.
you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. I think it goes back to what you were talking about with the emotional connection. I think in our community, the melanated Black African community, people need to have an emotional connection with you. And I think that might be part of it, the conversation.
Well, you see, Adam W. makes a good point here, and I think this is actually a good point. So he says, I speak to a group of 6 people with the same energy I would speak to 1,000 people. That is true. And I think that is the reason why I've created somewhat of the audience that I have. That, yes, people say, don't think about how many, but people never feel cheated when they come to my live shows or they come and talk to me or they communicate or they see my news. They don't feel cheated. They don't feel like, hey, I'm not taking you seriously because there's not many people here, or I'm not a big celebrity, or I don't have many followers. I talk to people who have 2 followers or 0 followers or 0 subscribers. I was talking to you when you had nobody. You had nobody. When I was bringing you on my life. I was bringing you on my life when you had nobody. I don't care. So now
look, let me brag on this man for a second. Let me tell you how much I made duets of several people's videos. I had some big content creators that told me, take your duet down now, otherwise we will do this on TikTok. When Merck hit me up, I thought to myself, oh crap, he has seen my duet and he wants me to take the duet down.
I didn't even see that.
Oh my God. So you know what I did? I quickly downloaded the duet because I was like, if I take that duet down on TikTok, I'm going to find another place to post it that he's not there. And amazing thing about this man, I don't even think you had even seen it.
I didn't even see, you told me about it and I was flattered when I saw it. I was like,
yeah, you were like, oh wow, thank you. I was like, if you're not on TikTok, you don't understand what it's like to start from trying to get to 1,000, 2,000, and then you do it somebody who's really big, And let me tell you something about the Do It. The first video that he did was so amazing, and he started to trend. When they took that video down, I was waiting for him to do the second one because I knew that if I could do it within
because your account is
1 hour.
Nigerian, right? Is your account Nigerian? Your TikTok account?
Yes. So that particular account is in Nigeria. I did it on the plane headed to Nigeria.
Yeah, but so the account you are using now, is that a Nigerian account?
The main account is a Nigerian account. The backup is American.
So the one that has 100,000 is Nigerian?
Nigerian, yes.
Yes, and that one doesn't have creator fund. They don't pay you for the views or anything, right?
No, they don't.
Exactly. Let me tell you something crazy about these guys. Those accounts grow faster than the UK and American ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that they can just, they're not gonna charge. They don't have to pay you anything. Those people are liars. The reasoning that they gave to not pay Africans for their content is a total lie. That is absolute nonsense. They just do not want to give Africans money. That's all it. That is it. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I left TikTok. I said, you people are exploiting us, man.
And they know they can get away with it.
Yes.
Bombs. They know they can get away with it. But back to the story very quickly. One of the things that really endeared me to Merck, he let it once so he did the first video. Video went crazy. It is literally the best video on Nigerian history on TikTok. Probably on social media that I've ever seen. The origin. It is the best video that you can do in that short timeline, right? That should be if I had money, the kind of money I should have, I would pay you to do for 3-4 months a series that on that video. But anyways, so he did the first video. They take it down. I duetted that video. They take it down. And I was waiting for him to, I literally turned on my notifications. I turned on everything. I was like waiting for him to do the second video because I had this theory back then that if I can duet your video within 1 hour, that video is going to go viral. If I can catch it early, if I can be one of the first people to do it. So I duetted the video. He posted it. I think he posted it like within 2 hours.
Which
I went there. This was the origin of Nigeria. He posted the second time. Yes.
Okay, right.
So I went the second time. So I went there. I did my little spiel, put Nigeria stuff in the background real quick, put on the camera. I remember which hotel I was in. I was in a hotel in Washington, D.C. at the time. I had to go get a camera. I was like, I didn't put the thing up. I duetted the video. That video, and Merck doesn't know this because I've never told him this. That duet did better than his original video.
Oh, really? Wow.
And he didn't even complain. He didn't even know until just now. Didn't complain. Didn't say anything.
Oh,
didn't
you know what?
You know
what happened to the original video? No, you know what happened?
No, the second video.
They
took down the original video.
They took it down because that video was the original. Yeah, the second one, they blocked it as well. The second one, they didn't take it down. What they did was they
blocked it.
They blocked it. Yeah, where it's like sensitive. You have to uncheck it to see it.
They put a cap on it.
Yes.
Because you have creator rewards on your account, right?
No. That was on my original. You see, you're talking about my original accounts. Those were my original account is the account where I was getting millions of views. That was my original account. Do you know how many videos I had? 1 million. I used to get 1 million for 4. I have like 20.
This man was rolling out videos.
I was.
It's very hard to explain.
I was bringing out. That was my prime. My prime, 2023, 2 years ago. I was getting every week 1 million, 2 million views, 1 million views.
Easy.
And then they banned me in May 2023 is when they banned me and everything came to an end. And I could feel it. Honestly, I told people, I said, the moment I got over 400,000 followers, I could almost not post a video without getting a ban. When I got to 500,000, it was ticking clock. From that point, it was a nightmare. Every video I post, blocked, banned, strike. And I was like, you know what's happening? I think that there are groups of people who are just waiting for my video to report it. They're just literally waiting for my video. And as soon as I post it, I was getting banned within 5 minutes. How can I be banned within 5 minutes? So listen, where we're at now, and listen, you don't even know. I'm telling you, this project that we finished, the quality of it is what I'm talking about. The quality. The quality of this thing. I looked at it again today. I said, man, I'm happy. There is nothing like this out there. We're beating everybody now at their own game. Beating everybody at their own game. And this is only the first thing. The other projects we're going to do, because listen, I'm not a controversial guy per se. I'm more interested in African history. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in.
I have a question for you.
The truth. Yes,
Somebody asked me a question about you. They said, how would Merck feel if Netflix saw one of your videos, say the origin of Nigeria?
No.
And they said to you,
no,
Merck,
no,
come do a series for us.
no,
You have full production,
no,
full executive rights.
no,
No.
no, no.
Why are you saying no?
Do you know the only way I would do that thing is what I would never. I own it. Well, yes, okay, you want to show it, you show it, but I own it.
Yeah, they do that. They do those deals sometimes.
Okay, then fine. Then we can have a conversation. And also,
because they
and also listen. No.
You
are not going to tell me what I can and can't say.
No. It is your production, your everything. They will just put it on their platform and
let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. No, I'm not doing it.
Well, you just said if you own it, you would.
Nah, I don't care. No, I don't. I'm not doing it. I thought twice. That was I thought twice. Now I'm not doing it. I don't think you understand. This is the philosophy I have. It's all about us now. How am I going to go onto the platform of the guys who are attached to the society that's played us out? Like, what kind of rubbish is that? Why would I do that? Let me explain something to you, Ty, because I don't think you understand what kinds of things I make. There is no way in hell that any network is going to come and want to produce the kind of thing I would want to make. It can never happen. When they even think that they're going to say yes and they read the script, they're like, what is this? Come. What is this? They may think that they want to do what I want to do.
Have you seen there's a Netflix Journey of an African Colony? Have you seen it?
Congratulations to them. There is nothing on there that is going to nothing. What did they put in it? What did they put in it? What is it?
I think I watched it a while ago. It's not bad.
What did they say in it? What did they say in it?
It's not bad. I don't remember. I watched it a while ago.
Let me tell you something. When you do any of these stories, the things that I've discovered that these folks did in Nigeria and in the colonies are so scandalous. I wouldn't put it on the air. If I was them, I'd be like, I'm not putting this on the air. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Like, on what planet am I going to go and use my own network to put that sort of stuff on the air? I wouldn't do that. In fact, if Netflix hired me and then they said that I should go and do the thing, and then I put this script out, and then I showed it to them, and I would go into the meeting and I say, listen, guys, I know you want to do this thing, but if you want some friendly advice, reject it.
Because let me tell you why I brought this up. Because there's some of your stuff, right, that is gaining so much traction, right, in our community.
Okay.
That I could see it. Like, for example, when I saw, have you seen Journey of an African Colony?
Ty, I don't think you're not listening to what I'm selling you.
No, I'm listening. So I watched that.
Okay.
When I remember somebody brought it up on my live on TikTok, and I said to them, I said, forget Journey of an African Colony, go and watch Merck on Origin of Nigeria. I'm a historian. Like, I've studied Nigerian history for 20 years. I'm reading research papers on Nigerian history. And I said that Merck is the closest to the reality and he did it in a short clip. And literally, I have not seen a special where a clip where literally everything was perfectly done. Right? It's literally that good. If you have not seen that video and you care about African history or Nigerian history, go watch Origin of Nigerian History on his TikTok. Right? It is amazing. Now the question
Yeah.
is, I could literally see a situation where I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm giving you a heads up because it could happen. And I could see it happening where folks come to you and say, hey, you have full editorial rights. You control the content. You control the stuff. We want to work with you. We want to put your stuff here. The only thing we want is a certain percentage of revenue. And let me tell you the template. Before you say no, Mark, there was a video that this artist, this actor produced for Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Netflix accepted the first part and they didn't accept the second part. They couldn't reach an agreement. So he held on to the content. He refused to give it to them. So,
do you know? Okay, let me ask
because
you this question. Let me ask you this question, Ty. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to do this systematically. What is the reason why a guy like me or a Nigerian would want the project to be on Netflix? Let's start there. And I'm being objective. Just give me we're going to go step by step. What's the reason?
okay,
Mm-hmm.
because whether we like it or not,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
There's a segment of our community,
Yes.
like you rightfully pointed out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That focus extremely entirely on a platform like that. It
Mm-hmm.
reaches a whole new audience. It establishes itself as a global thing.
Okay.
And let me tell you where I see you going. Let me tell you where I see you going. Netflix is set up in such a way that there are people who have gone on Netflix and done stuff with them who have maintained their independence from the establishment. So it is literally for people like you who want to maintain your independence. By the way, for reasons that I completely understand, as I talk to my two
There is.
sponsors, right?
I get
I
you.
completely get it.
Okay. I don't believe anything that is on any platform that is owned by a Western corporation is actually making things that will genuinely liberate the mind of the African or Black person. It's not possible. It's just impossible. And when I watch anything that comes out of any of these things and I look at them, I can tell, I'm like, yes, this is not something that somebody is going. Do you know how you know? Let me tell you how you know. Do you know how many people have watched the True Origin of Nigeria video and come away and say that they were changed? Do you know people have sent me those messages that thing altered how they even look at the country, how they look at the situation, how they look at what Nigeria needs to do, which surprised me. Do you know how many things have been made about Nigeria over the years? Dozens, scores of things, all over the place. BBC, all of these people have been making things about Nigeria, this documentary, that documentary, whatever. My little baby thing that I made with no money, with a TikTok video, has impacted people more. And the reason is simple. It's not about being special. I'm not special. It's simple. I actually care about Nigeria, about the people of Nigeria. I actually give it. I really care. So when I made that thing, it is like I'm not thinking about what will be comfortable for white people to watch, or what will be comfortable for the government to see, or what will be comfortable for the studios to think, or what a person might finance. All I was thinking about is that, as a Nigerian, what do I need to know? And what would another Nigerian really need to know about the fallacy of that country, of like how fake it is, like what the reality of how this thing was created was and who it is for the benefit? What would they really need to know? Nobody is approaching it that way when they're going to these places because it has to be filtered through so many sources, so many filters. So the reason why I'm telling you this is that in order for you to make things that will actually transform our hearts and souls as Africans and Black people, you have to approach the project purely for us. You cannot think about anything else. You can't think about who your sponsors are. You can't think about the distributors. You can't think about advertisers. You can't think about the networks. You're literally only thinking about Black and African minds, what we've gone through the context of our experience as a colonized people, as enslaved people, as divided people, as incarcerated people, as people pushed into the underclass. So you have to think like that. When you think like that, the kind of project you will make cannot be on those platforms. It is the antithesis of, do you know that for you to do those things properly, it invariably negates the platform that you're talking about. It negates it. Because if I'm looking at this thing, right, let's throw me any example. Just throw an example of me. Like, let's say they approach you to throw me anything, any topic, and I'll tell you what I'm talking. Any topic that you say, what if they came and said, I'll come and do this? And I'll give you an answer.
Well, you've already done it, right? So it wouldn't be, we're telling you to do it, Merck. It would be Merck saying,
okay,
I've already done the project.
Okay, I've already done it. CFA Frank video. I did the Frank zone.
No. Let's not, don't leave CFA Frank. Let's do history of Nigeria.
Okay.
Origins of Nigeria.
Okay,
let's say you've done a special that is 10 hours long, and you break it down into series, right? And you've already packaged it.
This is what I would do. I did a baby version, which is only 6 minutes. This is what I would do if I was being real. That thing would go from the beginning, which is what we talked about, from the beginning of Nigeria, like what they did when they came there, how they split up. We do all of that. So that was in the 6 minutes. Where I would go to would be very, very uncomfortable, because I would start talking about identification of psychologies of different kinds of Africans and deciding on what type of African would be easier to utilize against another type of African, and what you need to give that African in order to prevent that African from ever turning against you because you are all they've got. And then when you set those systems up, how you create a scenario where it is impossible for those Africans to break out of that hierarchy, even if you're not there anymore. Now, when I then lay that template out, I lay all of that template out, I will then now put another veneer of Bretton Woods, the IMF, loans, how those work, why they work, and the arbitrary nature of foreign currency and exchange rates, which have nothing to do with the resources that we produce, because we provide all the resources. So why is the Naira worth nothing? This is the reason why. And it is worth nothing because it's blah, blah, blah. I will go into all of these things. That thing will get me killed. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I couldn't do that sort of stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if I was being real and I'm really doing this, they would get me up out of there. Who's going to put that sort of, but this is the sad part. Everything is what we need to know. That is what we need to know as Africans. It's not what they want you to know. It's what we need to know. But Netflix cannot broadcast that. They can't broadcast that. Do you know why?
Have you seen where?
The reason why I'm saying this is that, listen, Ty, let's be real. Okay, we're talking real talk. I'm going to have to delete this whole live now. The point is this, right? Haven't you thought for a second why in the history of television, with all these investigative journalists and investigative documentaries, there has been no comprehensive documentary series or docu-series explaining exchange rates? Haven't you found that strange? Is that strange? I looked. The reason why you don't have to think about it, because I looked for one. It doesn't exist. They will arbitrarily touch on it. They'll mention it. They'll do a thing where they say, isn't it weird how can you explain how this makes sense? Nobody has really sat there. Nobody's done that. Why is there no documentary about the Bretton Woods Agreement? Like how exchange rates were actually made? Like what? Why is there nothing about that? Why? Why is there no documentary actually breaking down the IMF and what it actually is, and the World Bank and how it relates to Africa? Where is that documentary? The reason why I'm saying this is that they will dance around famine, war in Africa. The thing that is causing the problem, they will not do it. Why are you making so many documentaries about wars in Darfur, Sudan, war in South Africa? Talk about the bloody IMF. Make a documentary about that. Make a documentary about the World Bank. Make a documentary about Bretton Woods agreements. Make a documentary about the Berlin conference. Where is the documentary about the Berlin? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you want to talk to me about these networks? If you the reason why they don't make these things is that, do you know what would happen if you comprehensively started making material about things that make the Africans think critically about their situation and predicament? You are bloody screwed at that point. That is a revolution waiting to happen. I would not advise them to do it. I'm being objective. I'll be like, guys, do not put that on the air. That is insane. You're insane to do that. I'm being serious. I would actually advise them, don't do that. Do you know how crazy that would be? Can you imagine putting a series of those things on the air over the course of 12 months for Nigerians to watch? Nigerians are not dummies, you know. We're just ignorant. You show that to Nigerians, 300 million Nigerians, you're going to have 20 million people ready to die tomorrow. Show that for 12-month period, breaking down exactly all the things I just told you as to what the hell we're in. After 12 months, you're going to have 20 million people that there's no point in being alive, because now we understand that we're set up to be doomed. So we might as well just die now, like it's over. That is what you're looking at. That is the reason why I said I cannot be involved, because I don't know how to lie. So for me, it's like, it's either I'm doing it or I'm not doing it. I don't know how to lie, which is why I stopped making those. Why does a guy make a video that does 20 million views across everywhere when you add up all the views, and then I never go back to that well? Because I realized, I was like, man, I know where this road leads and I don't really want to go there. I know where this goes. Because once I did that video and I started looking at the history, I said, I kind of know where this all goes. I know what's going on. Do I really want to be that guy? Not really. You know, I mean, it's just not, it's a very dangerous place to go. So I'm just going to leave that and go and do what I'm doing. Because everything I just told you are facts. You people say that you're trying to solve our problems and educate us. Make the films and documentaries that actually educate us then. You know what the problems are. You know that we have a loan problem in Africa. Where are the documentaries about the loans explaining them to us? Where are they? Where are they? You think I could walk into those places and say, I want to make a documentary about structural adjustment programs. I want to make a documentary about conditional loans. They'll just be looking at you and say, what? Please, oh, no.
Yeah, but you see, but what I'm saying is this. Well, here's the point I'm making, right? There's a documentary about life and death in Jamaica. But here's the point I'm making. I don't believe in, you know, whenever I do a lot of business consulting in America and in Nigeria, right? And development. And one of the things I always tell people, don't negotiate with yourself. Don't reach this is a thing that we do. You negotiate with yourself, and then you take a compromise position to negotiate with somebody else. I'm not talking about you going there.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
I'm talking about you've already done it, and you prove that there's a market for it,
Mm-hmm.
and it is already hot,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you've done it. So whatever that topic is, you've done it. You produced it. You put it out there. Maybe you did it through the 300. Maybe you did it anyhow, but you've done it, and you've packaged it.
Yeah,
and somebody comes to you and says,
"Yeah, but
can we take that package? We're not going to edit it.
I get it, but that's my point. That video is so famous now. It's 3 years old almost. That video is so famous. Why have they not already done it? They're vultures off everything else. They can find any, like they would have already done. The point I'm trying to make to you is that this story is an old story that they all, this story is an old story. that story, even my own, just as it is so incendiary that even just to make that beat for beat and put it on Netflix, it's not the kind of thing you want to do. You're literally saying that the British government scammed Nigeria, created a fake country, and is still running that country as a company. That's what you're saying. A country that is currently in turmoil. It is in turmoil as we speak, and you're telling people on Netflix that we are responsible for that? Come on, Ty, be real. That's crazy. They're not going to do that. Listen, I'm trying to tell you that I would not advise them as a company to do that, because I'm like, listen, the kind of political unrest you could create because you're basically validating the truth of the fact that you are responsible for Nigeria's problems, considering how volatile the situation in Nigeria is, for you to rubber stamp that by a big network is recipe for a civil war. Like, it's like literally that project could trigger a civil war. Can you imagine the project that's winning?
That's not your problem.
No, what I'm trying to but that's what we're
I understand what you're saying. I get what
we're
you're
debating
saying.
why that they wouldn't do that. Like,
but I'm going to let you know right now, the offer will come, because it's not possible to do the quality of work that you do if you continue at this pace, right? Because what I see you doing is you are streamlining and you are like maximizing what you do best, right? You're not focusing on what you don't have. You're focusing on what your passion is, and you're letting everything else chase that passion. So if you continue, I'm just giving you a heads up. If you continue at the pace you're going, that is a conversation that will be brought to you.
See what
right? And you're going to remember that Ty told you.
Fair enough, but listen, Gil, Iwu said that how many documentaries exist on Netflix about the US involvement in global wars? Many. Nothing happens because most people consume it as entertainment. That's the key. The way that those
but we're not talking, Jill. We're not talking about the global audience.
Exactly. But
we're talking about the Nigerian audience.
But we're talking about Africans. I was actually going to say that, Africa, look, the point about that is that when you watch those things, again, remember what I said, it is how things are presented and what the content is. When you watch any of those things, they are designed to allow you to step away from them. They're designed that way. They're not designed to force you to engage with a situation. They're not. The thing about the Nigeria thing and what we're talking about is that the problem with that video and the problem with the way I was talking about it is that it connects with a current problem that Nigerians don't understand. Why are we in this conflict? What is going on? Why can we not unite? Why has there never been a national identity? Why? But we don't understand the reason, because they robbed us of the memory of how the country... We never got taught it. So, for example, we have multiple generations of Nigerians who have been robbed of the actual memory of exactly why things are the way they are. So the problem with putting out a documentary like that is very different from putting out a documentary about Iraq, about Afghanistan, about this stuff, about Cuba. Everybody knows every left, which way, and how of how the US was involved in all that sort of stuff. Now, Africa is the forbidden continent. That is the one when... Do you know that we are living in a world where people think that Hitler is the worst genocidal maniac in the last 100 years? They've forgotten King Leopold II, who killed 20 million Congolese. They forgot about that. Because it's a very...
And it's still going on.
It's a very inconvenient part of history, because once you engage with that, all of a sudden, the Hitler story fades, and you're dealing with, like, there was a guy who killed 20... And do you know what the craziest part is about King Leopold? He did it for fun. He did it for fun. It wasn't even for... You know, Hitler had a policy, like, who were trying to do the Aryan... King Leopold did it for... He asked them to send him pictures.
For entertainment.
For entertainment. It was just entertainment for him. He said, I'll bring him their severed limbs. They should bring those to him. They used to give him pictures of the deaths and killings. This guy was a sadist. He was just a sadist. He just enjoyed it. It was fun for him, because he didn't view the Africans as humans. They would just kill them, bring them the pieces of their bodies, whatever. He used to get them to be, listen, we don't want to need to go into it on this thing, but the kinds of things that guy did, it's literally like having a king who is a serial killer as a king, like a twisted, warped-minded. Hitler was a sick guy, but it was like he had a goal, like I'm trying to do this, euthanasia, this ethnic cleansing. King Leopold was just a twisted maniac. It was just like, there was no reason for him to be doing what he was doing because he could still get the rubber out of Congo. You see what I'm saying? He could still get what he wanted. He didn't have to kill all of those people. He did it for fun. So for me, it's like, I look at that and say, you know what? That is our responsibility. And there's a reason why people like that have been wiped away, because it is not a convenient thing to have the biggest mass murderer of all time be a white man against Africans. You see, a white man against other white people, we can have a conversation. To have the victims be black and the person who did it was a white man, and that is the biggest genocidal maniac in history, is a very, very difficult thing.
The sad part is you now connect that to what is currently going on today. It's not even like, oh, this is history that happened a while ago. It ended. It made peace. They moved on. The Congo is now prospering. It's the most beautiful place in Africa, right? No, wrong. It is still going on today.
Yeah, but you see now, so somebody's even saying about Adam W on Substack is talking to us about what we're talking about, and saying that there are documentaries on YouTube about IMF and World Bank. Those are YouTube videos. That's the point of what we're discussing. You can't get those things on BBC, HBO, Netflix, Fox, Disney. Like, that is the difference. I'm saying that, YouTube, you can get those all day, because the point about
I think you made a point earlier. There's a documentary on Jamaica, life and death. You do find IMF stuff, but there's a point that you made earlier, right?
Yes.
When I was writing one of the ebooks that I was writing, one of the things I was trying to be very careful with was connect the history for young people with what is going on now. You get my point? So Why is this president implementing poverty restrictive policies that he knows are going to impoverish you? And how is that connected with IMF, World Bank, and why Nigeria was created? What is the connecting dot? How does that connect? And the interesting thing with what you said was that those documentaries exist.
Right.
They tell the story of the IMF, like the one on Jamaica tells the story. But you see, it leaves room at the end to conclude that, oh, well, the Jamaicans can now fix their country. Right? So, yeah, this happened. It was bad. But you're left with this concept of, oh, Jamaica, now go fix your country. The difference is when you do one on Africa, you are not just telling the history of yesterday or 20, 30, 40,
you're
50
connecting
years
it
ago.
to the current situation.
Today.
Yeah, today.
The president of Nigeria devalued our currency, depreciated the currency today. Exactly the same way it was depreciated the first time under a military dictatorship on the recommendation of the IMF and the World Bank, using exactly the same talking points.
It's wild.
So, and that is, and let me tell you the danger. Let me tell you what for people who don't know, what Mark is talking about is the fact that Netflix is one of the most popularly consumed platforms in Nigeria. It is probably one of the biggest streaming movie platforms in the entire country, because Netflix has found a way to get themselves on every single person that has a mobile phone in Nigeria. When I started coming to Nigeria, I realized this. Every person that has a smartphone has Netflix on their phone. Almost every single person that has a smartphone has Netflix. If you can afford a smartphone, you can afford data, you have Netflix. And which makes it so, imagine if that kind of video ends up on Netflix, right? So it's going to be number one in Nigeria.
Yeah, but you see now,
And
this is what, this is why I said that you need to come to the 300. You do not know what's on the horizon. You
so
don't
it will
you
change
don't
the
know what's on the horizon.
entire
I don't think
conversation.
about what other guys are doing. I don't worry about
So
it. I hear what you're saying and you're right. But the key is, for me, it's like the old school way is trying to utilize somebody else's tools.
true. I agree with
The
you.
new school way is building your own tools, man. Like you build your own tools. That is the new school way. I don't care about what the guys are doing.
But is that, Mark? Is that even new school? That's ownership. That's common sense.
Well, it's new.
If you think about
It's new
all the
school for
platforms
us.
we have today, but all the platforms we have today that people most popular ones that people watch, right? When they
Mhm.
started, they were about ownership. People forget that Blockbuster was existed before Netflix, and Blockbuster had a chance to purchase Netflix.
Yeah,
Netflix were the ones that were doing the ownership thing back then and breaking new ground and new territory. So,
right.
and this is why I said that in the Nigerian space, the government has not caught up with social media yet, right? They still think that what I do and what we do on social media is just noise making. NSARS kind of shook them a
I
little
don't know
bit,
if that's the case
a
anymore.
little bit of
I
what happened
think,
in the election.
yeah, I think that they are waking up to the social media thing. I think that,
They're waking up,
yeah,
but they're
guys
not
are
woke
realizing.
entirely to it.
True,
Because the
not
government, I can say for a fact, the government is paying people like $50,000, $30,000, no, naira to post content that is in favor of the government, right?
hmm
So there is an element of ownership, like you're totally talking about, that needs to come into play to own your own stuff and control your own stuff, so that you can say in a free way what you're trying to say. Like the negotiations stalled out with one of the sponsors the minute they even said to me, "Can you do this?" I
right.
said, "No, I think we should pause on the conversations." Because if you have that at the back of your mind, if it's even in your mind, I now have a hard time taking any of your money. I have a hard time taking your money. Because if I stop, if I have to if I'm on a live and I have to think twice, right?
hmm
It's damaged the stuff. If I choose to edit myself, right? If I
Mm.
choose to edit what I'm saying, that's different. I chose it. But if
Right.
I'm influenced by what you
Somebody
are
else.
paying me,
Right.
now that's dangerous territory.
Right. Right. Right.
Because everybody, can get tempted. So I don't want to put myself in that space. So I said, hey,
Right.
we gotta, out of respect, I said, hey, we gotta pause the conversation. Let's just pause. Right?
Listen, man. Do you know
It-
how epic this live has been? This is a 3 hour live almost. It's like 2 and 2. Well,
uh,
you're used to this because you're a TikTok veteran. Like you guys do 6 hour marathons, whatever you do over there. You guys do your crazy marathons on TikTok. Because I mean, I'm not a big time streamer, but no, listen, you're right. And I think that, look, at some point, and I think it's going to be soon, one of us is going to break that. There's a sort of a glass ceiling and break through where you know that there's Wode Maya and all of these sort of African content creators who are big, but then they were never big by being paradigm shifters. Like they weren't trying to, the sort of stuff that we're doing, basically. And I think that it's going to take time for somebody who is really trying to really change things to break through and then have the revenue and the means to be like, all right, look, this is what we're going to do. Because I think that once somebody shows the way, oh, we lost him. Once somebody shows the way, the floodgates are going to open. I think once somebody shows the way, the floodgates are going to open. Maybe this is a sign that we should wind down. Guys, everybody who is not signed up to the newsletter, please sign up to the newsletter, www.alkebleland.media. If you are not a paid subscriber on the newsletter, consider a paid subscription. There is founders subscription. I'd be grateful for that. Yearly subscription, monthly subscription. The monthly is a coffee. I don't think, guys, can you get a coffee and a bagel for $8 in New York? I don't think so anymore. Can you? Isn't it 10 now? Can you get a bagel, maybe a plain bagel, but can you get a bagel with anything in it and a coffee for $8? You can't in Manhattan, I know that, but in Brooklyn, I want to get my mathematics right, my economics right. Because I don't think you can. I don't think you can. And I think that's what I tell people, like, listen, guys, coffee and a bagel a month, that's it. Everybody should be a paid subscriber on the Substack. Everybody should be a paid subscriber on the Substack. You know, and we can get to 1,000, then the game is on. I should get to at least what is 5%? I mean, I should do my percentages. I'll do my percentages after we go off. I should not be at the low end of the percentages. No way. That's ridiculous. We need to change that. So everybody who is on the Substack, consider. Not a good coffee and bagel. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can get a coffee and a bagel anymore for $8. You can't. At least $10. And that, like he said, is not even a good bagel. And if you want to get a bagel with egg and cheese and bacon, and then you're talking 15. That's at least $15, $14.99. That's what you're talking about. You know? So listen, guys, we need to get up that Substack. So everybody here should be paid. Everybody here should get a Substack paid subscription. $8 a month, guys. Especially if you're in America. You know what? I think he's right. I need to start talking about it more. I don't think I push it enough. I should push that a bit more and tell people to become paid subscribers. I think I should. Because we should have gotten 1,000 paid subscribers on Substack ages ago. Ages ago. There is absolutely no reason we're not there. You know? A bagel and a coffee is going to run you $25 in New York? Are you serious? That's crazy. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. I didn't know it was that high now. I did not know it was that high now. I thought it was like 15. The last time I was there, it was like $15. But I was last in, I was 2019. So, you know, I guess it's gone up because it was 6 years ago. Was I there? Yeah. No, wait a minute. Was I there? I was there in 2022, but I didn't get a bagel then when I was there then. The last time I bought a bagel was 2019 in New York. And yeah, it was about $15. Yeah, guys. So that's the way I see it. So listen, there is nobody that is in the United States that should have a problem with $8 a month. Nobody. So I don't think that I think that's actually very reasonable. But yeah, guys, wow, what a live. This is one of the longest lives I've done in a long. I mean, I've done lives this long before, but not for a while. I have to really think about whether I want to release this. I have to think about whether I want to release this, guys. All right, guys, look, let me get out of here. Sunday is the big day. So if you want to get an invite to the presentation, the link is in the description, or you go to the link in my profile bio. If you're on Substack listening to this, there's an article I wrote. So you just go to the website. You will see the article I wrote about the 300 event, and you'll see the link is going to be in that article. All right. I am out of here.